bitch. No, it's okay. What I want to do is going to get a half hour. Keep going.
Okay, kind of
Keep going. Keep
Nope, I hear you.
Yeah, our loops.
Oh, now you got the echo back.
That's coming out on the radio.
Give me a sec.
Because of that camera there.
Okay, try it again.
That one? I don't think that one has a mic. That one's mine.
Where's that other sound coming from?
Everybody.
I am not sure.
Give me a sec.
Oh, the middle screen is unmuted now.
Okay, try that.
Echo.
Still no music.
See, we hear the music here.
That's because we got a headphone feed from
Cannot
here.
hear. Or cannot hear music, sorry.
Well, every time I switch it to the Zoom, it doesn't switch.
That's why you need to shut down.
All right, I'm gonna get out of stream. Let me back into it. Do you hear it yet?
No, I hear you talking. Nope, I hear you talking. Still.
Who is music? Brownie. So did you turn the pod track off and back on?
I don't get it. It shows the Zoom. Oh, hold on. We're wiring this. Okay. All of us to stage.
No, now I can hear you.
Ready? This is a test. Broadcasting live in a sec. Stand by.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of Paul,
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain what things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplained.
The Outlaw Radio Network Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10. Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Ring Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Ring Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Ring Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
Never give in. Never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. Outlaw Radio Network.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our bit.
Republic. I like the sentiment. It means people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, however they choose.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood. Mary, now you're explaining.
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over.
You meant to be here tonight to see your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw 'em. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're gonna have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I declare to be an outlaw.
All right, it is the Outlaw Radio Network for the 20th of July, 2025. Thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate you. We're sorry for the late start, some tech issues.
We do all of our own stunts.
We do. Yeah, we're trained professionals, kids. Don't try this at home. And if you were at the monster truck show, you should never park in the parking that's closest to the fairgrounds. I don't know. We'll ask Mayor Wheeler if you heard about that in just a second. Bremerton Mayor Greg Wheeler is going to join us in about 30 seconds or so. We're going to do like an open, 15-minute forum, just talk about the state of the city and kind of what's going on. Quincy Square open, a whole bunch of cool stuff going on. Then we'll spend about a half hour specifically talking candidacy stuff as he's running for re-election. Marwan Cameron is going to join us next hour. Again, half-hour candidacy stuff with him. We're doing the whole equal time thing. And then Matt Adams is going to join us at 9 o'clock tonight. If you don't know who Matt Adams is, you're not paying attention to the internet. Matt Adams is everywhere, videotaping everything that's going on with some of these protests and some other stuff going on. He's got some great stories to share. We'll get to that at 9. Whole bunch of fun stuff in the middle. Tom is here. Hello, my brother.
Hey, how's it going, my friend?
Thank you for spending part of my birthday, a lot of my birthday celebration with me this weekend. I appreciate you.
The birthday celebrations were in full effect, between you and our DJD.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
There was.
Your mic's not on, Dennis.
I know.
You could never poke fun at Paul.
I saw. Yeah, okay. I have multiple buttons.
I say Dennis has more buttons
and lots of lights.
That's right. Lori is here as well. The CEO is off camera. Hello, Bossius Moss.
Hello.
What's going on? And I'm going to bring his camera live. Joining us live in the Black Ring Studios for Outlaw Radio is the one and only Bremerton Mayor Greg Wheeler. Mayor Wheeler, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How is oh no, we're not going to talk candidacy stuff yet. So let me ask the question that people have been asking me.
Okay.
All right. Quincy Square is open.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tremendous success. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what people really want to know is, when is K-Dog's Corner going to open? When do we get like a statue or something? When does that happen?
A statue, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Really, a statue.
Shut up, Tom.
K-Dog.
Question. K-Dog's Corner. When's that going to open?
A statue?
I don't think a July 17th parade is in order.
Oh, damn.
So, Kevin, it took us 12 years to get Quincy Square to where it is today.
Yeah.
And so this is the first I'm hearing of the statue.
Look, we got a fish catching a fisherman downtown. Can we get like K-Dog with some headphones on?
I don't know the backstory on some of that. But
no, that was before your time. Before your time. No, let's talk about Quincy Square. So I heard all the buzz about it. I didn't make it down for the opening festivities, but I did drive through it yesterday. Props to the city, man. Like I take swings at the city when I feel like it's warranted, but I want to get props too. Like, talk about the project, talk about how the opening ceremonies went, and just what you think it means for the city going forward.
Yeah, transformational project. Starting at the opening, ribbon cutting, working our way backwards a little bit. That was phenomenal work by a whole team that were dedicated, working together to putting on a memorable event to kickstart the next chapter of the city of Bremerton. Too many folks, DBA and the city of Bremerton both co-led, but there we had sponsors from major business owners downtown. We had contributors from several different aspects of our community. And just, it's a culmination of years of work, starting with really some small meetings on 4th Street in a desolate part of our city.
Mm-hmm.
So we were a blight zone downtown. We were well beyond before it, a lot of the investments you see taking place. And so the conversations happened. They became to, more detail and shape took place over the years. Quincy's relationship with the city of Bremerton became a highlight and something we felt, we as a team felt should be, marketed, capitalized on. Those aren't maybe the proper terms. Let's go with just, we needed to recognize one of our own.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so putting that all together, and being that Quincy found his love for music here, it just led into the team and this project taking place. There was art committees that had to be formed. We had to commission a muralist, sculpture. We had to commission an artist for the sculptures coming in. The design work, so much work went into the design. Down there, you'll see the hardscaping, phenomenal hardscaping, the piano keys and the down on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the challenges were the pandemic and actual funding. This is not a traditional project. There's not a typical funding source that we would go on traditionally to bring in the kind of funds to complete this project. So it took some ingenuity, and this is where my staff came in, and of course community leadership. So identifying together throughout Port Orchard, South Kitsap, and around Central Kitsap and Bremerton, we got together and decided this was the highest priority to compete for the final piece, which is the legislative funding from Representative Kilmer.
Mm-hmm.
And pandemic slowed us down a little bit. There were some decisions that had to be made. This is where I come in. And but I'm involved in a lot of it, but basically it's having the right people in place, putting in the right team, which is a lot on me and to get to this point. But one of the decisions was, do we keep going when the pandemic's worst days were upon us? We were planning for horrendous outcomes from a pandemic. The virus hadn't been identified. And so we didn't know if our government was going to be shut down to half of its strength, if our taxes would go down by 50%. So just doing some quick calculations on our own economy, stability of an essential workforce like the shipyard, an emerging tech industry. So we had a city full of either remote workers who could work in the tech industry, different telecommunications, or were essential workers. And in the shipyard, we were able to, make some good, some fair bets that our economy would be strong, kept going with the project. Supply chain issues got in the way. We kept powering through. So we're here today. And, so that's it. I could answer specifics on that, but that's a little bit of the story on that.
What's the near future plan down there? Are there music festivals planned, community events? Like what is like the future shape of that zone going to look like?
About a year ago, we already internally with staff, we began thinking about activation. And so we hired a consultant who had activated other public spaces like this around the country, brought them in and put together an activation plan. This is mainly the city being able to be a part of setting up and tearing down quickly and always having the services ready to go. And we know there's a lot to these things. A lot of people don't realize we have public safety, we have public health, we have sanitation removal, we have waste management.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have ingress, egress, as far as we have a city to run while we do things. And so ensuring all those things are happening. So that plan's in place. The next was funding a position to be the point for activation. And so we have a point that I've assigned here at the city. That'll be our project manager, Kate Ketterer. And then the DBA will be taking point on the programming. And so we have identified funding for that. And so you'll see more coming pretty quickly. So this year we'll start off with programming, and you'll see it advertised soon. We're still just debriefing from Quincy Square grand opening and how that went. But it's building up to FIFA. and the fan zone we're going to see next year.
Is there a plan to do a FIFA fan zone down in that?
Oh
area?
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
And that's part of this is we had dual projects. It's not unusual to have parallel paths to get to the same outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And for this one, the planning for the activation of Quincy Square coincides with the activation of a fan zone. So same principles, everything I just said as far as the city. The DBA will be responsible for sponsorships, event coordination, sponsorships. We're going to need money.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a big one. It's a big task, but I will say that I'm really confident in them being able to pull it off. And of course, the city being involved in making this successful.
Let's get into a candidacy question. So again, you're running for mayor. You're first elected in 2018, re-election in 2022. You've been in the gig for a little while. You've heard this question before, but it bears asking again. One of the challenges we run into downtown is parking. Where do we park? Now we have Quincy Square, this beautiful area to go hang out and get immersed in Bremerton history and culture.
Yeah.
And yet we still have the same questions about parking. How do we, we don't want people parking downtown to hop the boat to go to Seattle.
Yeah.
And yet we need people to be able to park downtown to go to Quincy Square, to go to some of the cool coffee shops and restaurants and bars that have chosen to relocate downtown. How do we balance that? How do we fix that parking challenge?
Yeah, well, there's obviously the you have your daytime work week, and then you have your weekends and your evenings. And so I don't know if a lot of people are aware that parking is free after 5 p.m. at the Washington Avenue garage.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I
so
would have taken advantage.
So
of
you
your
know
time.
this now.
Yeah, thank you.
And so we put that in place a couple of years ago.
We just paid for parking, didn't we?
Yeah, I just paid for parking to go to his birthday party downtown.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I paid for parking to go out to dinner.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for that tidbit.
Pro tip.
Yep. So, and that's a part of it. And some of it's just, doing some different, different seminars, learning about activation of spaces like this. If you create something that is worth going to, then all of a sudden a 3 or 4 block walk isn't as much as deal as it could be or used to be. So there is parking when you get a little bit further away. And but the big one I think is the evenings after 5 p.m. Washington Avenue garage.
I think so too. Weekends though, again, weekends is a challenge, right? Because again, we don't want people parking, taking up all that spots that should be for local businesses, and then hop on that ferry and go spend the day in Seattle. It just doesn't make sense. There's a plethora of paid parking downtown.
Yeah.
Are there any discussions about ways to do things with weekend parking through a voucher system or some kind of a validation or something that could be done?
Well, parking we're going to have to revisit that. I mean, there's no doubt what we have created, and this is happening quickly, is we have 350 new jobs coming into downtown. So that's the 555 Pacific Avenue, which is the Tim Ryan building, will be activated for the first time in its history. 100% occupancy, 300 jobs there. There's another 50.
And it's a gorgeous building too,
Yes.
by the way. It's nice.
So we have the critical mass of residents, a full build out on the residential downtown, and there'll be some more coming, but full build out on all the construction projects currently. 350 jobs with more coming in. There is another company coming in August, bringing more jobs. And I'll talk about that at another show maybe, but later on. And then we have the tourist attraction, which is going to be, in my opinion, will be a global destination. So I cannot imagine anybody visiting the Seattle waterfront. And if you go over there and you hear dozens of different languages, not having Quincy Square, a world famous composer and producer, being on that itinerary. And so we're going to have to revamp and take a look at parking. But at the same time, we have parking assets that are going to be part of that, including the 5 p.m. after hours at Washington Avenue. So we've set the stage for transformation downtown.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about downtown transformation, right? So I feel like the city of Bremerton got socked in the jaw a little bit during COVID. A lot of businesses didn't survive, didn't come out of that. I mean, they just couldn't. Everything gets shut down, and you don't have customers able to come in, and the ones that could come in aren't comfortable just because there's so much uncertainty, right? I feel like that downtown has really began to rebound. We've seen a lot of bars and a lot of restaurants. There's some family stuff that's opened up downtown. There's what I think is the future of Main Street in America, which are some of these nichier kind of businesses that are not
Fourth. Like everything on Fourth.
Everything on Fourth, yeah. And you've got an
fits what you're
arcade,
describing.
and a record shop, and there's a really cool. You might even know which store I'm talking about. There's a really cool foreign grocery store. Or right across the street from where the record shop is.
It's, all of a sudden it escapes me. But it's Mediterranean.
And
it's very good, and it's Volca.
And it's very cool. So we've seen a revitalization of that downtown. What do you do when you're reelected to continue this downtown revitalization project? And is it a matter of focusing on that core area, or is it a matter of now starting to expand that core area out into more of that downtown?
The best thing we can do is set the stage for private investment to come in. And so right now, the Music Discovery Center, so just to give you a quick update, most of the south end of Quincy Square, which used to be 4th Street, is under control, and with plans in place for being developed for a early childhood learning daycare center, a music discovery center, and a Black History Museum.
Okay.
So that's a few buildings down there. And so
when you say the south end, is that down kind of towards where like Seafilm is? Is it that direction?
No, it's actually the south end of the street. So if you can imagine Quincy Square, and the north end would have the Roxy Theater, Axe and Arrow, those restaurants. Right across the street would be the YMCA.
Okay.
Yeah. So just that whole area, your central core there.
Okay. Down toward Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What I've seen happen with public investments, if you go just west towards the lower part of from Pacific West down to Park Avenue, and you see the arcades, the game shops, the virtual reality stores, you get barber shops in there. You get some nice businesses that are opening up, activating. That was a ghost town part of the city. And then we revitalized an entire street, turned it into a multimodal with a pedestrian plaza in the center. You saw private investment follow. We will see the same thing with a $5.5 million investment on Quincy Square. We have just created value for that building owners and these future building owners and businesses that is just, it's exponential over what it used to be. It makes investment viable. And so that's what we can do as a city to continue those type of infrastructure investments. The roundabout, including improving the promenade downtown, completing it up to Pacific Avenue from Washington, those type of investments. You're seeing sidewalk work going in. We've improved traffic flow with that roundabout. So just B&O tax reform, we have to stay on top of that. When I first took office, we were down below $200,000 for the B&O tax exemption. I was able to now get it up to $1.04 million. So it took multiple times. And now we are there, and we are promoting small business development. Go ahead.
No, I just when Bremerton was an area we had looked at opening our distillery briefly, but the B&O was a pretty major obstacle.
We're at 85%.
This is new news to me. That's interesting.
I'm glad to be on the show and sharing this. A lot of these pieces are coming together, but Main Street Association. So Main Street designation. This is coming this year. DBA taking point on that. They've submitted an application. We get the Main Street Association. All of a sudden now you can unify as businesses downtown and work together, keep some of your state B&O tax money locally, and promote your businesses. And so the goal will be to work together, government, nonprofit entity, and businesses, to get a unified approach to how we might use those dollars. And my guess is it'll be marketing. And marketing in a way that's really different than we've seen before. We are a creative district now. And so that's promoting, you're seeing different storefronts filling up with artwork downtown while the storefronts are being ready to be activated. So just, staying on top of those things is going to be our key. Yeah.
Okay. Two quick questions about this, and I want to
Sure.
move off because I know we've got so much other stuff to talk about than just downtown.
Yep.
Terry asked this question. She says, "What's the difference between the new Quincy Square and the gentrification that has pushed out the working poor?"
Okay. Well, I'm one of those workers.
Mhm.
So I was, I'm from Bremerton, grew up in a war box in East Bremerton, shared a room with my brother in a 2-bedroom duplex, 1-bath duplex until we were in high school. Went in the Navy, came back home and went in the shipyard. I was a mechanic for the first half of my life, and then moved up into the tech codes for to finish out my career. So what we have to do is exactly what was done in the past. We have to create more housing. We absolutely have to create more housing. And this is a big one, opportunity. We have to have job opportunities for folks to be able to get meaningful employment. And so that's going to be a lot of what I'll be working on. And so down in the south end of our county, bringing the goals, 10,000 jobs in the city of Bremerton and our industrial lands. And so we get to work doing that. But the Wheaton Way Corridor revitalization, if you look at that, that's jobs being created. So Manette Business District, Callow Business District, creating these areas that are vibrant small businesses, those generate the jobs. So, I think housing is going to be the key, all different types. Right now, we've got individuals in a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom because they don't have an efficiency or studio that they would prefer to move into. There's different neighborhoods where we have folks who would prefer to live in rather than in the middle of a single family neighborhood. My goal, what I'll continue to do, is continue to build housing and just work as hard as we can to do that so everybody gets into the right house. And I'm proud to share also that we've just recently, we're a part of 3 nonprofits purchasing affordable and workforce housing. So market rate at the market level, purchasing 3 properties, 3 different agencies, KCR, BHA, Peninsula Community Health Services, each purchased an apartment building, and they converted it into low-income housing. 2 low-income housing, 1 for lower paid medical workers, that's PCHS.
Okay.
We can do more of that. And so that type of thing has to happen. So more housing, more partnerships, we keep at it, and more opportunities. We need meaningful employment. I'll just close on this, Kevin. I'm short skilled labor. I mean, I was a pipe fitter and a plumber. We need them. I need roofers. I need carpenters. I need electricians. I need plumbers. I need every technical field in the shipyard we're short of. Every medical professional person, we are so short of medical professionals of all types in our county. We're dangerously short. Got to get folks into the trades, getting them into the right spot so we can start to fill these high paid skilled labor positions.
Yeah. One last question. Answer this in a minute or less if you can.
Okay.
A lot of people have been begging for some kind of a grocery store downtown.
Yeah.
We've now put in more apartments down there, more housing down there. Do you have any plans or any thoughts on trying to relocate some kind of a food grocery vendor into that?
Trader Joe's.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I do have to say, all right, we've got Volca, Mediterranean market.
Right.
We've also got a food co-op. And so I think what we're talking about is something that's, has, it's not so specialized as one or the other and has a broader range. I know they each have larger visions. And so the goal from administration will be to help them realize their vision to the best of our ability. And then it's just the market determining that we have hit critical mass. I mean, and the jobs downtown, that's a big one. Tourism like we have not seen before. They're keeping those ferries running. So I ensure, I champion getting the fast ferries doubling those runs. I'm on record for doing that. You've seen the whole thing when I submitted the letter to the governor with the entire region behind it. Working with the new governor and state ferry leadership to get that second vote. We keep that going. And just we keep in the market. We have to just create that marketplace where the private investment steps up. And if it takes, if you point me in the right direction, I'll be a part of that recruitment team. I did it for Multicare when we got them over in East Bremerton. That was me initiating some contacts, learning the system, doing tours of their different facilities, a year and a half of investment. And all of a sudden they're siting a place just outside of our city limits, but serving East Bremerton. I can do the same thing for the grocery store.
Perfect.
But the first thing though is we need that critical mass, which we are now hitting.
Okay. Let's switch gears just because there's so much other stuff to talk about. I'm going to ask about the difficult question now involving our homeless issues downtown. You know, I think one of the greatest things the city did before this Quincy Square was the Marvin Williams Center downtown.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful building. I think it's got a great mission, but we've also got it in a location now where it's surrounded by our homeless population and people aren't comfortable going down there. There's concerns about safety. There's concerns about, you know, bringing your family down there. And the larger challenge for the city, I think, is how to balance, right?
Yeah.
There are rights afforded to those that are homeless. They need a place to go. They should have a place to go.
Yeah.
How do we balance that with the needs of, let's say, the Marvin Williams Center? Or I know somebody, that beautiful brick apartment building that's right there across the street from Burger King, Katie Corner from Burger King. I don't know the name of the building, but she lived there for a while. She moved out, didn't feel safe. Didn't feel like her and her daughter could get from their car in the parking lot into their apartment building. The Burger King there across the street is shutting down, and they've cited that there's concerns about that part of town.
Yeah.
How do we address all of this? Because it's an issue that has been, I hear people commit Greg Wheeler as mayor and they say, this is the issue that isn't really being addressed. How do we fix it?
Yeah. Well, you know, we keep doing what we're doing. I hire a common streets. I have point case management. I keep building transitional housing, permanent supportive housing, like I'm on record for doing, especially with Pendleton Place. Addiction treatment program, mobile healthcare unit and addiction treatment. I started that on my watch. It serves that downtown population. So a big part of the solution was turned down by the city council. I proposed a homeless shelter, shovel ready, up on our Oyster Bay complex. It would have been built by
Public Works.
Yes, Public Works project. It would have been built last winter. The homeless shelter, folks who really were using the shelter and need it, would have been moved onto a campus designed specifically for helping the homeless. That got voted down, and right now, you know, I don't know what's in the works, but whatever comes up, there's a whole lot of work to get through. If you site it properly, you got to do public outreach. You've got to do, you know, you got to make sure it fits any codes or zones. You got to build it. I mean, we're a long ways out, and I'm getting ready to lose another winter with folks who need that shelter. Salvation Army was not built to be a homeless shelter. They are only there doing this because I've asked them to, because there's no other options to keep those people off the street. So properly locating them with the proper services, which I mentioned, case management, addiction treatment. And then there's another aspect that folks, and I want to make sure we get this out on record. There's a group that are a criminal vagrant group that mingle in amongst the vulnerable and homeless folks. We need to separate those folks out and hold them accountable because they are committing crimes. They are they're exploiting, they're committing property crimes, they're doing assaults, and that group is mingling in with the homeless, almost hiding amongst them. And so the goal is to continue with case management. Common Streets is able to help us sort that out. We identify who is down there with the only purpose of exploiting and making a living and staying off the grid, criminal vagrant, and somebody who's truly down on their luck could respond to service and treatment if properly administered in the right location. We'll continue with that effort. So we have to continue with all of this. The folks that are just broadly painting this entire situation you might see in downtown or in far bigger masses. I mean, let's face it, I'm talking to folks who are coming to our city brand new. They're comparing us to every other city in the region. They're here because we're safer. Doesn't mean we don't have a challenge and an issue to address, but they're coming in here and they're happy to be here. So we have to continue this work, but again, hold the folks accountable who won't accept services and who are down there preying on the vulnerable. I'll keep doing that. And then we got to get it out to folks that everybody down there is not a victim. We have a criminal element mixed in amongst folks who have fallen on hard times and could use support. So
how do we address the property owners down there? I mean, I talked to a property owner that's got a house that was for sale on that MLK, and they can't sell it. Nobody wants to buy it. The homeless that are down there don't respect the property lines. They're in the yard. They've thrown their hands up. They don't know what to do.
We arrest them.
Yeah,
and we get them a trip. And what do you think a property violation will get you? I mean, for
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. And listen, we've been Facebook friends for a long time. You've been on the show before. You know that my daughter is one of the folks that are down there that are right in the middle of this crisis and this quandary, and she won't accept services and she won't get treatment, and she's in that vagrant class you're talking about.
Yeah.
And as her dad, right, honestly, part of me boils a little bit that we're talking about, well, how do we handle her? Like, how do we handle her?
But Kevin,
but from a city perspective, though, you guys, I'm going to give you a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
You guys are in a really crappy spot. Like, there's a weird balance in how to do this.
And if I could say, we're not going to arrest our way out of this.
Yeah.
Let's just say, there's a certain point where maybe the penalty is strong enough that somebody gets convinced that they don't want to be off the grid anymore, want to help themselves. But frankly, we don't have a system set up for just multiple repeat offenders of low level crimes. What we can do is get the separate the criminal element from the folks trying to seek help, and then offer the services. I've championed transitional housing. You'll see me say right now, we need a detox center closer by. We've got to have one close by. And when your daughter, and believe me, she has moments where she wants to help herself. And so you know this, and I know this too, that we have to have detox close by. We need transition. When somebody does the hard work, we need transitional housing. That criminal element that's down there preying, your daughter's not preying on folks. She's just in a different situation. Those folks, we need, they need to be held accountable. That's a criminal justice system. That's a court system. That's a whole different ball game there.
What is the resistance to a detox center, to the methadone clinic? Like, that methadone clinic idea has been batted around the city of Bremerton for the better part of 15, 20 years.
We got it. We have methadone.
Do we?
Yeah. If you had, and just file this away.
Okay.
But if you head north on Wheaton Way and you're just 303, you come to Riddell, it's right in that, unless the state's closed it down, they cited one there. When I used to go over to Seattle pre-COVID, and I rode the ferry a couple times a week going to my regional meetings, I was going with a group that used to have to go over there daily for methadone treatment.
But there was talk about building one in West Brim for a while recently, right? That got shot down again? Or am I?
No, the methadone is up and running just outside the city border. And the pushback's going to be, you got to cite them properly. There has to be that. But it's the same as, why would a shovel-ready homeless shelter get shut down? So, why would the council shut down?
Why do you think they shut it down?
A lot of public pressure.
Just people in the neighborhood didn't want it that close to them, and
and so we've got that work cut out for us.
Okay, let me ask this question.
Yeah,
rental prices. So my nephew has a home that I help him rent in the Manette area. It's a 2-bedroom, 1,200 square foot home. Not huge, nice place, but not huge. The going rate for that is $2,700.
Yeah.
And when we look at, the folks in the shipyard are making money where they could probably afford that.
Yeah.
But it's exceedingly high. We've heard other cities talk about rent control. We've heard the state talk about some kind of rent control.
Yeah.
As the mayor, does the market control itself? Does the city have to get involved? Does the city need to look at some rent control? Does the city need to or do we just let it handle itself and hope that all these extra housing units bring the prices down?
Well, extra housing units need to bring the pricing down. I'll just tell you right now, we're zoning for growth. We've created an environment that's attractive to the region. Bremerton is an attractive place to come, to live, to invest, to maximize all of the opportunities for yourself and your family. We've done that. I talked about downtown. So the the market solution is to build more housing. So to insert a rental cap into that, here's some finance 101 is, and I'm just going to get right to financing. If you start to limit your financing options once you limit the profitability of a rental property, if we're going to do private development. Now, if the government wants to step up, and I'm not going to propose the city do this. I don't have the funding to underwrite every property and every investment to take on their risk, because they're not going to be able to recover it through raised rents, to take on their risk and replace the profits that they might get. Because let's face it, you go under sometimes when you make investments.
Yeah.
I mean, you do. And so, and there's some fine lines between financing. There's other risks involved. If the government, and starting at the state level, federal level, wanted to underwrite the risk, then all of a sudden caps work. But if we're just putting everything on the back of an investor, they'll just find somewhere else to go or invest in something different.
Yeah, and it would hinder the growth, right?
I believe it would hinder the growth.
Yeah,
and that's counter to the housing challenges that we need to have fixed, which is I need more growth. So
okay. Wheaton Way has seen a lot of growth, a lot of expansion. There's a couple new housing developments that are being built. One right there near the old high school site. Another pretty large one being down almost down to McWilliams. Some other side stuff being built on some of the side roads and stuff too.
Yeah.
How close are we to hitting that proper housing level, do you think, within the city limits? Like, are we close or are we still a long ways off?
Yeah, the projections we're a long ways off. The number of units we need and in fact, the available buildable land that we have are mismatched. So
I was going to ask about that because you only have so much space, right? You've only got so much room to build.
And Kevin, let's face it. If the school district follows suit, if I produce living wage jobs here, which I'm going to do, we're going to fill up empty spaces downtown. We're going to have contractors moving in. There's going to be other work available. We keep our environment clean. We have places that outdoor recreation. You can fish. You can enjoy a natural, pristine environment. We keep it safe. We have parks that are clean and safe. What do you think is going to happen to our property values? How about the attraction of people wanting to come to our region and live here? My family came here in 1959. We moved here for opportunity. I was an infant, but for jobs, for access to the most beautiful outdoor environment anywhere, for everything, schools. So what stops the next group coming in today?
Yeah.
So, we just keep building, and there's going to probably need to be some intervention from a federal level to get those prices stabilized. Because right now, asking to put it all on the back of a developer, any developer, could be a mom and pop like me, because I've had rentals before in my past. I'm not rich. Like I said, I'm retired shipyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of risk. So
is there would you suggest or support annexation to increase city limits at all? Is that something you have thought about or something you would advocate for? And if so, which directions would you go?
Well, the thing with, to be a good partner, we have growth areas. And so that won't balance our budget unless I annexed Fred Meyer,
right,
at Lowe's,
right,
and just said, here, county, I'm going to take your cash machines and leave the rest of the responsibilities for roads and public safety permitting and parks to you. That's not happening.
Yeah, they may not like that.
And that's not how you keep partnerships, because we depend on each other to get big things done. I can go on and on about fast ferries and state ferries and why Bremerton and Sunday bus service, why we are doing well and stuff. It's partnerships. But so we would have to set up a plan where we worked with the surrounding property owners in the urban growth area and probably do an entire annexation. But again, that's going to cost money. I mean, we have to ensure that both the county and the city can maintain the services that are required to either lose business revenue, taxes and revenue, or absorb more people. We would absorb more people can the county fulfill their responsibilities if they lose the revenue? Vice versa. I take on more responsibility. Long story short, it's not a moneymaker. Everybody thinks that's the money grab that's going to solve all your problems. It's not. So if citizens want to come in, we will help them. We will always help them. That's always been my philosophy. So,
okay, last question for you.
Yeah.
Last 4 years, how do you grade yourself? Like as you look at the last 4 years,
yeah.
What's something, if you were gonna, I won't leave it up to you how you answer it. Do you give yourself a grade? Is there something you look back on and go, God, we did this really well under my leadership, or this is something we're still working on that is really important to me that we do in another 4? Like answer that.
Well, if you look at my website and the 30 plus initiatives, and there's more than 30, but if you look at my website and what I want to do, each one of these is a direct response to a community need. And so I'm glad you asked that question, Kevin, because right now I'm up for my performance review.
Yeah.
This is the time where I go out to the citizens and make my case, the people I work for, and they'll let me know with their vote how I'm doing, and that's how I'll grade myself.
So you're gonna base it off the feedback you get.
Oh yeah, 8,400 doors so far in this campaign. I've hit my. Yep, Lori was one of them.
Yeah,
and her puppy, and every day there's a dozen dogs I've met, and there's more dogs in the city now than there's ever been. And I've done this a few times, but
he remembers the puppy. That's the important
part.
Hey, that speaks something to me, being a dog lover. I mean, if the dogs like you,
it's 100%.
It's a good first step.
Yeah, this is 100%. There's always going to be one, but so far 100% endorsement from all the canines in the city.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. So you know how that goes.
He carries the good puppy treats.
Yeah.
So in other words, breaking news for the Kitsap Sun to take up. Outlaw Radio Network is reporting that Greg Wheeler wants dogs to vote. Okay.
Okay, can I add something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of a parting thought in a way. For the whole, Quincy Jones Square thing.
Yeah.
To see that come to being, and me being a part of Kitsap County music and entertainment for well over 2 decades. It is great to see Kitsap County embrace someone as their own, and we stop giving Seattle the credit for Quincy Jones, which is what he has been recognized for so many years. I was a jazz musician through junior high and high school, and I played a lot of Quincy Jones music. And it was always affiliated with Seattle. And to see Bremerton really get a chance to embrace that is really special, to see the community get behind it. I think that is great for the arts and for the starving artists of us that are in the county.
We're in an arts renaissance. We are in an area in our history in Bremerton that I think we're all going to look back and appreciate we were here. At this time,
and I
part
absolutely do, because I was one of the people that when they started doing the revamping of 4th Street and we're going to make an arts district, I'm like, what the hell for? Let's bring the nightclubs back down here and revitalize downtown. But now, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, and listen, to Mayor Wheeler's credit too, we've heard so many previous mayors talk about how are we going to revitalize downtown. Lynn Horton wanted to put in a water park, and all these ideas about what to do downtown.
Yeah.
And under the last 8 years, to your credit, we've seen incremental change in what's going on downtown.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I'm far more comfortable walking downtown with my daughter, who's 18, than I would have been 4 years ago.
Yeah. And Kevin, let me make one point about rental properties.
Mm-hmm.
We keep painting this picture that they're all big and corporate entities, large, well-funded, private venture capitalist funded. You know what? Most of them in the city are people like you and me. Some of them are small business owners who don't even have a traditional pension. They get a rental property to somehow have a semblance of a retirement someday.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about who's going to take on the risk, who's going to limit their ability to get a return on a pretty substantial investment, we're talking about that person. It's going to be that working person who doesn't have a pension. It could be a small business owner. I've known too many of them who are relying dependently on rental properties. So we need to keep that in mind.
Last question. It's just because Robin's made a couple comments in chat about the policies for building and properties.
Sure.
She talks about developers like SWG, which that's a larger conglomerate type of investment company that's doing the housing. Do you advocate for any kind of restrictions on how some of these larger corporations come in? Because you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I believe the larger organizations are far less likely to get on board with doing low income housing, that they're seeing these as investment properties, money making properties. Would you favor any kind of limitations on or negotiating them into agreements where, okay, and I don't mean SWG specifically, I don't know them.
No,
but one
I
of these
understand.
larger companies where they're going to come in, okay, you can build that 500 residence, project, but in return, we need X percentage of these to be low income. Or would that be something you would advocate for?
Not just like that. What we can do, working with our partners, the development community, we can look for solutions where it is profitable to consider set-asides. Right now, it's not. The reason I am a proponent of maintaining, with that in mind, continually looking for ways to improve, but I am a proponent for maintaining what we have today. And I can point to the recent purchases of low-income housing and workforce housing by the 3 nonprofit entities just in the last year, probably year and a half. Those are big. We've added close to 100 units in low income or workforce housing by just having a housing available. And the case can be made that the housing would not be there without the incentive to build. It's a tough market to build over in Kitsap. The cost of material and labor and everything are the same as King County, but your return on investment on the back end is considerably different. So you got to make up the rest with equity. You got to get your debt service down so your monthly cash flow, it works. And so let's keep it as is. If we're going to do this, we do it in partnership. We make it sure that it works, because we're asking the private market right now to actually make this happen. So,
Mayor Wheeler, I appreciate you, man. It's good to have you back in again. We need to not wait so long to get you back in the building again. I know you're out walking, knocking doors as you always do. It's kind of become the
But
now
it's
mode.
been on the casting couch.
Well, no, we're not calling it that when we have political people in studio. We're not going to call it that, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
I didn't give you the memo. I apologize.
I'm the last informed.
Yeah.
Of this group.
But listen, honestly, thanks for coming in. Thanks for taking the time. I hope we can continue this relationship. You've always been great with your time. I hope we can continue doing that. And once we make it through the election, whoever wins that, I want to get back in here again, because we're going to keep asking the questions and having the conversations, and I just appreciate you. And I'll see you at the Blackberry Festival, I'm sure. I keep running into you downtown, so yeah. Talking to Mike, they can't hear you.
Yeah, I hope to see you sooner than that, Kevin. Actually, all of you. I hope you'll get to see downtown sooner than that, but we'll see you at Blackberry Festival for sure.
Awesome. All right, Mayor Wheeler, current Bremerton mayor, joining us for the last 45 minutes or so. When we come back, we're going to spend 45 minutes with Marwan Cameron. Who is that? He's a guy that wants to be the next mayor. So we'll talk to him and get his thoughts on that and more. It's Outlaw Radio, hour number 2 around the corner. Stay tuned.
A recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
The Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10. Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Ray Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Ring Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Ring Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance, Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
This is Spike Cohen. This is Jesse Young.
I'm Brandy Cruz, host of the Undivided Podcast.
And you're listening to
my friends on
Outlaw,
the
Outlaw Radio.
Do we have? Oh, I hear that. Where's that echo coming from?
I don't know. It's someone's phone.
Do we have? No, it's still there, Dennis. Can you take a look at what that is? Thank you. Now
Andy.
it's gone.
It's
All right.
Andy.
It was Andy. Okay, all right.
Well,
Or it might have been Paul because Paul's in there. Paul's in our chat as well. So we'll bring him on in just a second.
We'll blame Paul.
Yeah, we'll blame Paul.
Which means Paul's not coming in.
I guess not. That's the
I'm
first
eating
I've
his
heard.
brownie.
He's live at his.
I'm eating his brownie.
That's right. Although Paul, we may not be able to bring you on if we get that echo. So we'll look at that in just a second. Do we have the third person on the booked as a guest yet? Do we have Jeff Coffin? No, we don't. We have reached out to him. I just want to be clear. Like we've reached out to everybody.
Yes.
So
I
nobody
reached
can
out to
say.
Jeff twice.
Yeah.
And the last communication was Jeff and his PR person.
Okay.
And I reached back out to the PR person.
And haven't heard back. Okay. No, we're going to reach out to everybody. We're going to try. We want to do equal time for everybody. Everybody gets a shot to come on the show and answer my silly questions, and it's perfect. So we'll do all that.
Okay.
All right. So let's bring Marwan Cameron on. Marwan, you're now on video. So wave to the folks. Marwan, man, thanks. The camera's right here. Thank you for coming in. Marwan Cameron, candidate for mayor of Bremerton. I think the best way that we can start this is for you to tell people who you are and why you're running for mayor of Bremerton.
Who am I? Well, moved here in 1997.
Same time I did.
Before I moved here, I was actually a bricklayer and actually built the Safeway and the Walmart on 303. I didn't even know what Bremerton was back then. But I ended up moving here. Unfortunately, I only finished the 9th grade, ended up at OC. Got my 2-year degree there, went out to Old Dominion University, got my bachelor's in business and my master's in education. Started working for the Navy College. And then after that, started working at OC and started teaching that about business and advising and externships and internships and all kinds of different things.
Marwan, we don't want to miss this. I just saw something in the chat that says we're having sound issues. Corey, can you hear us right now?
I think we're fine. Hold on.
Corey just said he doesn't hear us.
Well, Corey
part
might
of
have
that
been
was Paul.
Yeah, it might have been. We should have it fixed.
That means I get some more brownie.
That's right.
Yeah, Missy said the sound is not okay too. I don't know. We'll keep working for him.
Oh, they can't hear Marwan.
I don't know why.
That's what Shane Henry just said.
2 1 2.
Hold on, try that again.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, they're all on one channel, so it's good.
You sound good to me.
Skull.
Boss baby, I'm watching you on camera. Can you give me a thumbs up if we're good on your end?
Corey said that individual mics are not on.
Did something get unplugged? That's a good question. Let's.
No.
Guys,
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens.
We've never had this issue before. We have an English.
Never,
It's in here now. Marlon Cameron's in here. We have an issue there as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell production skills. You guys are really messing my game up.
So we said they can hear the two of us, but they cannot hear Marwan, and we could hear Mayor Wheeler just fine. Tegan says it's better. Marwan, try talking that again, will you?
Well, I run my own podcast, so I understand about things are difficult.
Marwan is like, What are these wackos doing? What are these idiots
Oh no,
doing?
no, no! I've watched Marwan go through and juggle this same thing.
And this is about what it looks like too.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't understand.
Okay,
Electric spaghetti.
Nancy says in Texas she can hear Marwan, which is fine.
All right.
I'll
Sounds
try
like-
not to text
So
you.
it's a
All right,
Washington thing.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
internet's
Washington.
working.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans figured out the
Yeah.
internet.
Other people.
I thought we were friends. I'm a Bill- are you a Cowboys? I'm a Buffalo Bills fan.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Well,
I'm a Fort Chargers fan.
Yeah.
So.
the Nancy he happens to be talking about is my aunt,
Oh,
and she lives in Texas, but she's a Seahawk fan.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Then your answer is very cool.
yeah, no, my aunt's awesome.
Yeah.
Dennis, I'm going to put you on. Sorry, Dennis. Tom, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to have you ask Marwan a couple questions. I'm going to double check our feed.
Okay,
So will
you go ahead and
um,
double check our feed.
This is
and
great when I put you on the spot.
yeah, but I'm comfortable getting put on the spot with Marwan. We know each other. I mean, it's we've been in this room doing this thing. So go ahead and pick up where you
I'll
left
pick up where I
off.
left off?
Kind of, yeah,
So like I said, I went to Olympic College, got my
Right.
associate degree, did my bachelor's in business, did my master's in education, started working for the Navy College office for several years, then started teaching at Olympic College, taught business management, international business, marketing, sales, finance, all those things there. And then it got to the point where a lot of students were homeless, food insecure, and struggling.
Right.
And so college kind of represents this big opportunity to change their lives, and almost everything hinges on it, right? And that was kind of my situation. I fell off the scaffold, destroyed my back, now I've got to reinvent myself and use my mind, right?
Right.
Not my body.
Right.
And so that was critically important. But what I saw while I was teaching there were people couldn't get to class, they didn't have gas money, public transportation wasn't adequate.
Right.
Folks were struggling.
Right.
And we wanted to be able to fill those gaps. So in 2018, I started Gather Grow Together, which is a 501c3 nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to address those gaps, right? We're small, so we can fill those holes, right? We're not the Titanic, we're a dinghy, so
Right.
we can pivot and maneuver.
Yep.
And so we drive folks throughout the county, out the county, and get people where they need to go. We're cheaper than a cab or an Uber. We have contracts with probably 30 or 40 different organizations. We're part of 211, so when it's cold outside and it gets freezing temperatures, we're activated
Through the county, and we take folks to the severe weather shelter for free anywhere in the county.
Okay.
We've got contracts with taking folks to dialysis. Listening to your interview with the mayor, we take folks to the methadone clinic,
Okay.
which a lot of people don't even know exists, right?
Right.
Which was a big issue with getting it there, but now that it's there, most people have no idea. They drive past it every single day.
Right.
We take people to medical detox. That's another thing that the mayor was talking about. Because we have a transportation company, we're part of, the continuum of care to get folks where they need to go when they're ready to tap out. Right. So we go to Spokane, we go to Yakima, we go to Bellingham. We get the call and it's like, hey, we got a bed. This person's ready to go. Can you take this person to Yakima in 30 minutes? Yeah, we can. And that's what we do. And so we were instrumental in getting a lot of folks off the block. And so we've been doing this work, offering rental assistance when COVID hit and everything shut down. We used to take folks to concessions, right? And that was kind of how we got our funding. You want to jump in?
No, go ahead. I'm thinking to myself. Trying to figure out
You're pointing like
My brain is literally flying over.
Now, Marwan, I don't know if you can smell the brain tissue yet. We're going to let Kevin smolder.
Yeah, let him smoke.
Just you and
I can
go
see
ahead.
it.
Yeah, we'll handle this right now. He'll cool off and reset, and we'll be fine.
So we used to do that. We would take folks to concessions. We had relationships with Salvation Army and other of the shelters, and they would actually save their bed spot because we wouldn't come back in from a Rolling Stones or from a Seahawks game till 1, 2 in the morning, right? So we could put some money in their pocket. They can do some things, engage probably in an activity that they couldn't afford. I don't know if I can afford to take a family to a Seahawks game or to
a rock concert. It's just crazy, right? But it also gives people something to do, right, while they're trying to work on their lives, which takes a tremendous
amount of time. But when COVID hit, the door shut. Like, oh, what are we going to do? Right. I thought we were going to close. I actually took a job with Fleet and Family out in Bangor and started serving the military again just to keep our doors open.
Right.
But during that time, we were transporting COVID positive patients. When the quality, everyone moved into fairgrounds. We were transporting folks out there. We were providing food out there. Then they went to Quality Inn. We still provided services that way, taking folks to get vaccinated. And so we just kind of kept, doing what we do and try to fill those gaps in. And to this point now, whether it's rental assistance, food insecurity, trying to help folks with case management and navigate all the different resources that exist, it's you kind of get tired of asking for help, and
Right.
power is taken, it's not given. And being boots on the ground in so many different sectors is like, I think better new ideas are needed, and we need to
Okay.
make some big swings to make some changes.
Okay.
All right, we fixed the audio issues. So I want to apologize to Marwan for taking time on a Sunday and having us down here trying to troubleshoot guinea pigs in the computer system. So thanks so much for being patient, man. I appreciate you.
No worries.
Okay. Let me ask a couple of questions that we posed to current Mayor Wheeler.
Sure.
Because I know that you've got some investment in what's going on with the homeless community, what's going on with housing and all of that. One of the questions I asked Mayor Wheeler in the last segment was, how do we balance this weird scenario downtown? Got a lot of people that are homeless. We got a lot of people that are stuck in a system that it feels like they can't get out of, right? They're just kind of cycling. But you've also got property owners downtown. You have people that live downtown that don't feel safe. How do we bridge that gap? Like, where's the proper balance between letting them, letting is the wrong word, but letting them be homeless or protecting the rights of the property owners? Where does that balance come in?
Well, I think you have to do both. My challenge is, listening to what the mayor was saying, the unique ways that he approached securing the funding and getting Q Center, the Quincy Square, off the ground. And that's great, right? But I don't hear that same novel ideas on how to solve our homeless issue. And to me, you have to start from the bottom up, right? They say a high tide rises all boats. And then some people say, well, thank you. They say if that your boat has a hole in it, it's not going to help, right? But you have folks that are doing well. And I think someone came to city council the other day, and it was a single mother, and she talked about how, hey, I'm working in the shipyard, and I've got a lot of single mothers that are in the shipyard, and they can't afford the housing here, right? So, that doesn't mean that you're going to be secure if you're working in the shipyard, but everybody can't work in the shipyard, right? On top of that, many of the jobs that are being created, the folks that are working these jobs are coming from outside.
Mhm.
So what happens to the Bremertonian, right? Is my daughter going to be able to live in Bremerton when she graduates high school in 4 years? I don't know. It depends on how good of a job that she gets. So I think the answer is that we have to prioritize from the bottom up, and we have to invest. You're not going to get out of this by not spending money. But if you spend now and you invest, there's a saying, it costs less to teach someone than it does to imprison them. So if you were to provide resources to folks, you could do it at a cheaper rate. It's going to cost you, right? And the mayor is absolutely right. You can go downtown at 7-Eleven, and you know who's selling drugs down there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the vile predators off the street that are selling drugs to the most vulnerable in our community. That's the first thing, right? Once you remove that element, it's a lot easier to help the folks that remain. I heard you talking about the Salvation Army. I'm actually on the board for the Salvation Army and on the Kitsap Regional Library. And both of those entities were serving the unhoused population, right? As a warming center or a cooling center with the library, and then with the Salvation Army, having folks come in. And there are situations where someone isn't going to be able to stay there because maybe they got into a fight or something else is going on. But there's also a lot of mental health, right? This is my oldest friend here that's off camera. He works in an emergency room in Kent. And he tells the stories about how folks are coming in, they do the blood work. There's no alcohol, there's no drugs. It's all mental health. And they're rubbing feces on themselves, they're urinating on themselves, and they need a level of help that the Salvation Army can't provide. And so we have to lean into that and solve that issue. I believe we also have a revenue generation challenge that we have here, right? And you heard the mayor talk about annexing isn't going to fix the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But if we could solve some of our homeless problems, then maybe we can outsource that from a consulting standpoint and bring some revenue into Bremerton too. I'm about outside the box thinking.
Okay. How do we, so if it's a revenue issue, how do we make up the revenue?
It's not just a revenue issue. I think it's a people issue. It's where do we want to put our dollars, right? The Q Center was great. It opened up, it's going to thrive. I have mixed feelings on that because a lot of things are done on the backs of different groups, and Quincy being African American, kind of feel like we might be on the outside. So I'm waiting to see how this kind of works out. But I didn't go to the groundbreaking, right? But it is a revenue generator, and it could do some good things for our community. I just want to make sure that Black folks weren't tokenized in the building of this, and then you don't see us. Right. Quincy was an artist. He was sneaking into movies, music studios. You guys love Doc, right? Doc is on here a lot.
Yeah, we love Doc.
His studio should be in the Q Center, right?
Yeah.
That would be a
It should
cool
be
place.
there.
That would be an
Perfect sense,
amazing
actually, yeah.
place.
Right? And so it's things like that. So we have to invest. It's going to cost. It may hurt for a little bit, but we got to find some different ways to do it. The ADUs that Wheeler has pushed through, which are great, right? Maybe we can incentivize, instead of giving the developers the tax breaks, give you the tax break. You're going to house someone in your ADU. You're going to bring someone in, right? That's going to help you, you're probably struggling. It's going to help the other person who's probably struggling. And now both are more secure. So there's different things that we can think about to try to balance it a little bit.
Does the city of Bremerton, do you feel like they have a plan in how to address the housing issues? And like we talked with Wheeler about, the property value, rent is so extremely high.
Yes.
Like, again, my nephew's got a house that we rent out in the Manette area. It's a 2-bedroom. It's less than 1,200 square feet. And it's $2,500, $2,700 a month, which is insane. Right. But that's the going market rate. Do you feel like the city has any kind of a plan, or is this a situation where if you're elected mayor, you're gonna have to come in and start building stuff from scratch, putting a plan in from scratch, getting things moving?
I think some things are going to have to be done from scratch. I live literally right across the street from Olympic College in an old meth house, 700 square feet. It's $1,800 a month. That's ridiculous. Who's affording that?
Nobody.
Who's affording that? No one's. And so all the building that is being done now, who's affording that now? Who's a Bremertonian? If they can't afford what currently exists, they're not going to be able to afford what's being built. So all the development is for people that are coming from the outside. They're going to be working in the shipyard or working in the hospital. So again, are Bremertonians going to have to go to Mason County? Right now, you're seeing that with Bainbridge Island, where a lot of folks that are working in the service in McDonald's or wherever you find them are having to be bussed in and out of Bainbridge. So is that what we're going to do in Bremerton? Because you still want your DoorDash, you still want your McDonald's, you still want your dry cleaners, you still want your grocery store workers. These are the people that grew up multi-generational in Bremerton, and now they can't afford to live here. So yeah, we're going to have to do something that's fundamentally different. When you say to a developer, hey, we're going to give you tax breaks for 8 years or 12 years, and then you can get another bite at the apple, and you only need to do 10% affordable or 20% affordable. Well, if I got 5 units, that's 1 unit, that's 20%. Do we do it then? Do we make any kind of headway in creating affordable housing? On top of the fact that market rate isn't actually affordable. It's just coined as affordable, right? So we have to do something different and be honest about it.
Well, and you mentioned your daughter, who's I think she's going into freshman. You said she graduates in 4 years. So my daughter just graduated Bremerton. Are they going to be able to afford to buy a home? I mean, is there any scenario that we can look at where we look at our kids and think our kids are going to be able to buy a home unless they inherit one from one of us, right?
Right.
Are they going to be able to buy one?
I'm not a homeowner, so they can't inherit from me.
Not yet. Not yet. It's coming. Can the city do anything with that? Or does that become a bigger issue with state, federal, all of that other stuff? Or is there stuff the city can do to make home ownership affordable for Bremertonians?
The answer to your question is yes to both, right? Yes, the city can do something, and yes, it's also a bigger issue, right? As mayor and as what I do now as a community leader, I look at things from a geopolitical standpoint, right? We're looking at the terrorists. We're looking at potential war in different countries, the proxy wars, all these things that are going on. We look at the national issues with homelessness and crime. We can see Chicago. We can see San Francisco. We don't want to become those cities, right? So they're giving us a head start on what we want to avoid. So we have an opportunity if we strike now. So yes, it is the city's responsibility, I believe, but we need the federal government, we need the county to also chip in. And we also need the Navy.
Let me ask you, and I didn't ask this of Mayor Wheeler, but it's something that was posed to me that I hadn't thought about before. Was this Quincy Square project a good idea for Bremerton? Or would it have been better to have done something in that core area that would have brought jobs?
No, I think it was a good idea. I don't think it's not a bad idea. I just think that you have to do both. You can't choose one or the other, right? So you want development. You have soccer coming next year. And what are we going to do? Are we going to do like San Francisco and hide our homeless and push them to the other side of Riddell, which is what we've been doing, right? Because again, I serve that population. So I know where I pick them up, right? Where my drivers are going.
Well, that's
So is
what
that
Seattle
we're gonna do?
did too.
Right, exactly. So are we going to do the same, or are we going to actually solve the issue? Because if you don't know, the numbers are increasing rapidly. So yeah, they broke down the tents and scattered folks, and some people got help, but those numbers are increasing by the day.
Well, and again, we talked about, like, I think the Marvin Williams Center downtown is phenomenal. Like, I think that building and the plans that they have there and what they're doing is amazing. But you now have a huge homeless population that is engulfed that part of town. And I've talked to a lot of people that are like, I won't go down to the Marvin Williams Center. I just don't feel safe. I don't feel like I can park my car down there. I don't feel like I'm safe walking with my kids.
Right.
I got friends that lived in that area that moved out because it didn't feel safe. And that Burger King, a lot of people are going to, that's not a big deal. It's fast food. We got 1,000 of them here. But that's employing 30 people, 25 people or whatever. And that Burger King's closing down because of the concerns downtown.
Right.
How do we start to fix that?
Well, and again, I live 2 blocks.
Yeah, you're in that neck of the woods.
And then my office is 2 blocks in the other direction, right? We're catty corner from the courthouse. And so those issues are there. Again, the first thing is you have to get the predators off the street. You have to identify them. You have to remove them. Part of the issue is, or part of the situation, I won't call it an issue. You have a Salvation Army there, right? And so you've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and folks that are sleeping there. So it doesn't make any sense for folks to migrate away from the resources when they're just going to come back in a couple hours to eat, right? And so it exists there. You've got the shelter in Port Orchard. You have another shelter, hopefully, that will be coming soon. The mayor didn't speak on that. I won't speak on it either, but I know that there some things in the works, so hopefully there will be an announcement soon.
Here in the south end of the county?
No, in Bremerton.
Oh, in Bremerton. Okay.
Yeah, in Bremerton.
Yeah, there's a shelter opening up here in Port Orchard, 2 miles up the hill here.
Yeah,
So,
so-
I wasn't sure if you were talking about here.
No,
locally.
and it's not my place to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's
right,
just,
right.
When you do this work, people tell you stuff.
Sure,
So it's
sure.
just not my story to say. So, but hopefully something will come of that.
What do we do in the rest of the city? Like, I feel like downtown's getting a lot of focus. How do we get people downtown? How do we support businesses downtown? I still drive down Wheaton Way and I think, man, there's a lot of empty storefronts down here, and this should be booming. This is, how do we start to address growth throughout the rest of the city and not just focus on that downtown corridor by the ferry?
I'm a big swing person, and I'll say something that is going to be unpopular to some, but I believe that you look at all of your levers that you have. We're in crisis mode, and folks are still acting as though we have time, and making incremental changes is sufficient enough, right? COVID was our warning sign. We got worse, and it's like, okay, what are you going to do? I would exercise eminent domain on some of these empty businesses. Go ahead and pay their market value, take over those properties, help develop, and develop from inside. One of the big ideas that I have is Habitat for Humanity on steroids, right? We have a lot of folks that need to be retrained. We have AI. We know that these jobs are going away. The mayor said it himself, right? He needs skilled labor. So we need to lean into that and train our Bremertonians who need a livable wage so that they can afford to live in the city that they grew up in. And so if we do that, we can build here, we can build truly affordable housing and also give the skills to the people that need it so that they can actually raise their families here and they don't have to move away and say, oh yeah, I grew up in Bremerton, but now, it's these folks from Seattle or from wherever that are living here now because it's cheaper from where they came from.
Yeah. And I'm a guy that lives I don't live in Bremerton. I own a home in Bremerton, but I where I live out is just outside of city limits. But I commute to Seattle every day. That's where the good paying job is. That's where the thing is that takes care of my family.
Yeah.
How do we get more of those jobs over here? How do we get more of those higher without forcing people to work at the shipyard, which only is going to employ so many people?
Well, you can't force them. Everyone can't get in.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a lot of folks that don't look too good on paper. So,
So how do we lure those higher paying jobs over here?
You got to start early, right? I mean, one is we have to work with our schools, right? We know that our schools aren't doing so hot, but we need to start at elementary school. And we need to start putting people on a track to fill those jobs that are, I don't want to say AI proof, but we have to consider that. Building is a big one. We have developers that are coming in and they're saying, hey, it doesn't pencil out, so we can't build. Okay, well, if it doesn't pencil out for you, then you know what? It's gonna be homegrown. We're gonna create our own developers. We can use OC and other avenues to train up our new workforce, right? And now you're an electrician and you're a framer and you're a plumber, right? And now you have skills that you can use not only inside the city or inside the county, but you can also take out, right? So that's my thought on that.
Okay. Do we have an opportunity of growth at OC? I know you do a lot of stuff or have done a lot of stuff over at OC. Is there more stuff the city can do in partnership with them to expand programs or do?
Oh man, I mean, there's a ton. I mean, I think when I was teaching at OC, they were still, I mean, I'm pretty sure they still do, but they would video stream classes to Poulsbo and Shelton and, bringing on their 4-year programs, which is even more. I just wrote a reference letter for someone going into a bachelor program in their film school. They have one of the 4, well, at least when I was there, one of the only 4 state-of-the-art facilities for their theater, right? So there's the growth potential is ridiculous. They have a nursing program, which is one of the things that we need the most. He can't wait to get back on this side, so he's not commuting to Kent every day, which is ridiculous. So yeah, no, absolutely we can. It just really takes. I'll say this. I'll switch and answer it this way. When we look at Kitsap Transit, I'm big on transit equity. We've got the Wendy's and we've got the Chipotle on Warren Avenue. The problem is how do they get home at 1 if there's no bus?
And yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's like, oh, great. We got these jobs here, but only certain people can take them. And it's actually not enough to live anyway. So let's go and have a conversation with Wendy's and Chipotle and Grocery Outlet and Planet Fitness and say, hey, can we sync up your work schedule so folks are getting off at the same time, and maybe you can have a bus to take you home just like the shipyard, right? It seems like the people that have more get more, right? If you have good credit, you can get more credit, but if you got bad credit, I'm sorry for you. If you're poor, you don't get a take-home bus. So if we do that and we can increase ridership, right, that sustains Kitsap Transit. It makes a livable wage for folks that may still have to work more than 1 or 2 jobs to maintain, but they can also get around, and it rebuilds our public transportation. When I was here in 97, it was more robust.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to get back to that.
I think it's because Kitsap Transit is subsidizing their foot ferries, but that's just my opinion.
Kevin, I don't know if you're following the chat or not. But
I'm not. Hold on.
J. Andrew Kennedy came up with a question, and Marwan, if you know any of our listeners,
but he's from Michigan, so
and
ignore
he's a little wacky, right? But this is actually a really good question.
Okay,
he likes Tom.
Yeah,
Tom's footwear.
Yeah, he's got a thing.
He's a weird dude, man. He's a weird dude.
But no, first off, he starts with a compliment, and he just says you're very well spoken.
Oh, thank you.
And then he would like to know what it is that so you're talking about investing in the trades, right, to help with the housing crisis. I mean, it seems like a smart idea. What do you have any specific ideas on how you might invest in the trades or trade schools? I mean, I've got a background in the trades myself, so I know what it's like getting in. Well, I knew. I'm old. That was a long time ago. Sorry. Anyhow,
he went to Wazoo. Don't expect him.
Stop it. I did not go to Wazoo.
He did not go to Wazoo.
Oh, he went
Central.
To Central.
Central. Eastern's barely a community college.
Wow.
Yeah, damn, dude.
You leave the Eagles alone, mister.
Wildcats all the way.
Anyhow, he would like to know if you have any deeper ideas, I guess, about how to expand the trades and in turn, solve I think what he's trying to get at is, you want to solve the housing problem and the workforce problem with one solution.
It's not so much a one solution. I just believe that you have to do multiple things at once.
Right.
You can't just say, I'm going to do A, then I'll do B, then I'll do C. No, you've got to hit it simultaneously, right?
Okay.
So you got to bring jobs in, but you've got to train the folks. I want Bremertonians to be able to live in Bremerton. That's a really big one for them to be able to thrive. If you go back to the Biden administration, Build Back Better, we had our bridges that needed to be built, our fiber optic, that didn't really seem to happen, right? But our bridges are still falling apart. We watch the news. We see what's happening. Right?
Yeah, and they spent money on fiber optic like it was going to happen.
But it's not here.
Yeah, no,
right?
They didn't connect a single home.
So we still need it, right? We see what's happening with our planes. So it's not just, housing development, right? We need labor in every sector.
Infrastructure.
That again, that is somewhat AI proof, right? Because everyone's not going to go into these entry level jobs because, hey, Chat GPT can do the job of 4 or 5 people, and that's the truth. And I don't think that universal basic income is going to be the answer because $2,000 a month. Well, there it goes on your rent. Now, now what are you doing? So that's not the answer either. So it may be a combination of several different things. And that's what I mean about thinking about things from a geopolitical or from a national standpoint, from a local level, and saying, hey, what do the tea leaves say is going to happen? And then we need to address that and try to find unique ways to solve the issue that way. I hope that answers your question.
We'll find out here in a few. He may chime back into the chat, and knowing this particular listener, it could be a truly bizarre response. We don't know.
He's going to want to see your feet.
No.
Let's be
My
honest.
feet?
Yeah, he's a
Probably
Michigan.
both of you.
Oh, wow.
He's a Michigan guy, man. Just let it go.
It's the footwear. Let
Well,
me
listen,
tell you.
I love what you said about Bremerton people being able to live in Bremerton. I mean, it's been the issue that I've had, and I moved here in '96, right before you did. The issue I've had is, as long as I've lived here, I felt like we've cared more in Bremerton about courting the Seattle people and courting the Tacoma people than we did about addressing the people that were already here and making sure that we were, not that we needed to go like isolationist or whatever, but to make it so that people that were here could have the life, could afford the home, could get the job, instead of being, oh, well, you work in Seattle, why don't you just come live over here and take the ferry? And well, it's not like we saw how that model worked out, right? Now we have a housing shortage and prices are through the roof because of supply and demand. Would you be in favor, because I asked this of Mayor Wheeler earlier, would you be in favor of the city imposing any type of rental control on increases in rental prices or any kind of regulation?
I don't like it. I know that, some folks like it. I don't know if that's going to solve the problem too. I know that is pretty stigmatic, and it does affect people negatively. What I would say is, again, if we create some jobs and we start building within and we build what's truly affordable, that is how we're going to answer the situation. That's how we're going to get out of this, to me. Otherwise, we're just going to keep building, and it's going to be more and more and more expensive. If you're going to city council, developers said, hey, well, you know what? It costs us too much to do a parking lot now. So city council did away with them required to do a parking lot because they said it's going to be $60,000. Well, right during COVID, my construction company was active, right? It was Cameron Management Services, and we got hired to replace the roofs at Viewcrest Village. It's a 300-unit complex, right? And we did about 40 roofs. Then they sold the property, and we were waiting for the new owners. Sold again, and waited for the new owners, and then they brought their labor up from California, and we couldn't compete with the bid. So we lost out, unfortunately. So you can continue to build. We see all the building that's going on, but you're hearing $2,500. I think you had said that, Tom, right? $2,500.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. And I can't work in the shipyard, and I'm not going into the medical field, and it's still not enough, right? 30% of your income is where you should be in terms of what you're spending on your housing.
Yeah.
And so in order to get there, we're going to have to build and do something. We're going to have to do it ourselves. We cannot wait on the government, right? As far as the federal government to do something, we have to find some solutions here. Our neighbors, Bremertonians, this is our family. I want them to be able to grow up and live here and their kids to be able to thrive. Not, hey, you know what? This might be the last generation or two that's going to grow up here. And once they graduate high school or become adults, if they don't finish high school like me, they're out of Kitsap County. See ya.
Yeah. Well, and then, God forbid you have to move.
Right.
Because we're now asking people to come up with $7,500 to move if you want to do first, last, and first, last, and deposit.
I think the head editor interviewed me, came to my house for the Kitsap Sun.
David
and he
Nelson?
said,
Yeah.
And he says, hey, you know what? It's like the first time that 2 of my folks are actually coming the opposite way because it's cheaper to live in Seattle. That's crazy.
Really?
That's crazy, right?
That is nuts.
It's cheaper to live in Seattle?
I have never heard someone say that. Wow. Okay.
That's why I moved over here. Because it was getting too expensive in Kent. My landlord came to me and he said, by the way, in 2 months, we're moving your rent $1,200 per month. And I was like, yeah, I'm out. So, wow. Cheaper in Seattle.
That's insane.
That is.
It's insane. Do you find as you're out talking to people, is your message resonating? as you are, I would assume you're door knocking and talking to your neighbors and stuff. It was, I did research to have you on the show tonight.
Gotcha.
One of the things that stood out to me was just the outpouring of support of people online that are writing to the Sun, that are posting on Reddit, that are posting on Facebook, the number of people that you're reasonable. You've got a nuanced approach. You've got new ideas. Are you getting that as you're out talking to people?
I do. Folks are frustrated. They want to see something different. They want to see, the mayor and city council be able to work together. And they want to see both entities not say, it's not my job. I hear that a lot on both sides. Well, that's not the function of city council. That's not the function of mayor. But then when you dig a little deeper, it's like, well, who would do the ordinance? Well, city council would. Well, then it is your job, right? A big issue is porta potties down on ML King, which we got down there. We fought for that. We got a pancake breakfast. A lot of entities came. It took us months after that to get them. The county ended up giving them to us. They were in my backyard. I cleaned them up, got them down there. We paid for them every month. We increased the payment on those porta potties. And I like to look at things from a multi-pronged, focal point, right? It's we the people, it's all of us. So it's not just that the unhoused needed dignity and a place to use the bathroom. It was also a public health issue because you have feces and urine that were being washed down the city drain. It was also a safety and security issue because you have homeowners, renters, and you have the Marvin Williams Center in the shadow, and they're watching people use the bathroom just right there, right? So everyone is affected by that. And so when some people are just saying, oh, it's a dignity thing that they need bathrooms, absolutely. But it's also the other two things as well. And so we can think holistically about those things and see how it impacts everyone and then say, hey, we've got to do this. At the end of the day, it was pennies on the dollar. And when that pilot went away, they can still do it. Why isn't it happening?
That's a good question. It's a good. Can more be done for the city in public-private partnerships? Like I've been a part of a lot of churches that have all said the same thing. We want to do more, but we feel like we're not let into the room. We're not allowed to do more. We're not allowed to partner with this stuff. And there's a lot of stuff about religion and separate and all that kind of stuff. But can more be done in a separate in some kind of a public-private partnership where it really reduces some of the onus on the coffers of the city?
Absolutely. One of the things that we talked about doing was creating safe parking, right? And shout out to Anton Pressinger because he was spearheading that, and Jane Robolowski as well from City Council. But unfortunately, COVID really hurt the churches. There was a time you could go to the churches and get a gas card. They could help pay your rent, and they're tapped, right? I work with a lot of churches. Actually, I do an AV for several churches. Once you have a skill, they're going to tap on you to, please help me with the audio and the video. But, these are small congregations.
Welcome to Outlaw Radio Network.
that don't have a lot of resources, right? And their flock that doesn't have the tithes and offering to do more than try to just keep their own building open and try to help their folks get what little they can. So yes, can more be done? Yeah. How do you support? How do you write an ordinance, or how do you write the laws, or how you can function having a safe park at a particular church where you have 5 cars that could park there, and then the church can actually kind of offer some of those services. Right now, some of it's too much to ask a church to have someone that can watch over the space almost 24 hours, right? It's not quite that bad, but it's taxing. It's too much, right? Folks are outside. We can find unique ways to do it, even if you're setting up the small grants for the churches, which again helps them keep their doors open, which there again lets them help others. So it's just thinking differently on things. So yeah, there's a ton we can do. Yeah, and my example with transportation, right? Who's had that conversation with Wendy's and Chipotle and Planet Fitness, right? If Kitsap Transit needs to increase their ridership in order to justify, this particular bus running on that time, there's your customer right there. Go have the conversation with them, right? That's all that needs to happen.
I like the free market approach. Yeah, less government is better, but that's getting us in the weeds.
Tom's a
and
libertarian.
Kevin's gonna start yelling at me.
Tom's a libertarian.
But the government can aid in that discussion, right? Even if you're for small government, they can come in and say, hey, how can I help facilitate this and support you doing this?
Honestly, I think that's what it should be, right? I mean, the government should be constantly on life support, and reaching out to the community to say, hey, how do we solve this problem that's all of ours? So, but I mean, the first thing we have to do is get big government into small government and then keep them on financial life support.
Well, Tom, what brought me into your space originally was being part of Roseco. And
Yeah.
what brought me into that was, the big earthquake, right?
Right.
Which terrifies me. So,
Yeah.
this whole thing about what's going to happen and talking to the emergency management folks at the county and hearing that we're going to be on our own, Gorse is going to be underwater and all this other terrible stuff. That's scary.
It's coming.
So we have to prepare.
But
right?
I mean, but it could be 200 years from now.
Or it could be
all dead.
tomorrow.
Right. Hey, could be.
I mean, that's kind of how insurance goes. It sucks,
Right.
but you got it so that you're ready.
Right.
We have to do something, and we already see people are falling by the wayside. If you've seen someone Narcan more than once, if you've seen someone die and you're watching it and you see it increase, and it's like, man, this can be prevented if we stop the dealers from being here in the city, right? And then allow it's if you take away whatever it is, the rodent, the pest that is coming in to come and eat your garden. If you remove the garden, then there's no pest, right? Well, you don't want to remove the garden. The garden is people, so you got to remove the pest, right? If you remove the pest, the garden can thrive. It can begin to thrive, right? So that's really the first step.
But the city's had his hands tied too, right? Court decisions and state law and easement policies that, well, we're not gonna enforce this, or we get some of these repeat, that they go before a judge and they let them right back out and there's nothing taken. And the city really can't do much, right? I mean, because the city still has to file state code and RCWs and all that stuff.
They do, but like with the ordinance, right? They could have voted to keep it in for another 30 days and they chose to just go ahead and end it when they did, right? If you can create an ordinance, which they can, again, it's that thinking outside the box thinking. Yes, I do agree. I don't think the wanton legalization of all drugs and we're just going to turn a blind eye. I thought that was going to be a failed experiment, and voila, it was. Right? I thought it was a horrible idea. The only thing I will say is at least they tried. And so I'd rather you try something than to not do anything and just say, well, it's not my job and it'll fix itself. And we're just going to keep leaning on these nonprofits. Like if the nonprofits, the good mayor just talked about Salvation Army and Bremerton Housing Authority, I think St. Vincent de Paul, buying these properties, right? And then offering, below market rate housing for folks to live. Why can't the developers do that?
I would having been kind of in lockstep with developers in the past, just because I've been part of the trades. If it's not,
if it doesn't pencil out,
yeah, if it doesn't pencil out,
profitable,
it's not going to happen. And the what it takes to to pay all of the trades that are involved in developing a property and stuff, the profit margins are not nearly as big as the propaganda that's out there now says they are.
Well, great, and it may not be, but what's your profit margin for Outlaw Radio, which is a public service?
We're millionaires,
that you're offering, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
we're all millionaires,
right?
Zero.
So we're all making a sacrifice as individuals, as Kitsap residents or Bremertonians, right?
Right.
But the developers who often come from outside, like, I don't give a damn about Kitsap County. I don't give a damn about Bremerton.
Right.
If it doesn't pencil out, I'm not building. You're not going to give me a tax break. I'm not building.
Right.
But here we are up at 2 a.m. taking a 60-year-old woman that's on a cane who has to work graveyard at a grocery store in order to pay her rent. That's one of the rides that I still do from time to time, right? As a transportation company. As the founder, I do drive people around.
But isn't that the problem though? Like you care.
Right.
Like you care. And as I often say about guys like you, you're in the community because you care, and you're not counting dollar bills for what you get for what you do. That the reward you get is far bigger than that. The concern with these outside companies is if you're one of these big development companies looking to build a housing complex, you can tell them, well, you got to do 20% as affordable housing. You can't build here. They're going to give us the finger and go to Silverdale, or they're going to go to Port Orchard that maybe doesn't have that same.
Or they're just going to leave the state
right?
altogether. They're going to go build in Idaho.
But then doesn't that further the issue of saying, well, now we don't have enough housing? And
Nope, because the housing that is being built isn't affordable. So the mayor also said something else, like, okay, we're going to build all this housing and then, rents will come down. You tell me the one time that you saw in your lifetime where rent actually decreased. Because I've never experienced that. I'm 52.
That.
I've never experienced that.
Even in 2008, when the market crashed and people's property values went down, the rent did not increase.
Lori's seen a decrease in rent.
Yeah,
You have?
recently. Yeah,
I've
my
never
property
seen it.
management company has reduced my rent
What?
the last 2 years. Yeah.
What?
See, I've never seen it.
They
So
love me.
What? She got leprechauns and
but that's
unicorns
the
as a
exception.
landlord.
That's the exception that proves the rule,
Right? Yeah, I've never
because
heard
it's
of
not
that.
common,
No.
right?
Right,
And it
it's
doesn't.
not.
Bigfoot or blurry.
Yeah.
No, and look, once you give people the taste, tell me if I'm wrong. Once you give people the taste of more money for their property, you know, they're not going to. It's like asking the government, well, you've got this tax money forever. Will you cut our taxes? Now they've never given us back a tax. Landlords are never going to be like, oh, I'm getting too much money for this property. I better cut it.
And I don't want to demonize them, because a lot of those folks are folks that just have a second property, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the three of us have a property and Tom is charging $1,500, you're charging $1,600, I'm charging $2,000. Tom's like, man, I'm struggling, man. The price of eggs and gas is killing me, and I'm taking a $500 hit, and I've got to raise the rent.
Mm-hmm.
I almost don't have a choice, but that doesn't make him bad.
Right.
Right. So the answer to that question is, when the developers say, well, it doesn't pencil out for me. Well, you know, it doesn't pencil out for the Bremertonian.
Right.
It doesn't pencil out for the city. So we need to develop our own property managers, our own property development, right? So if we build our skills here, not just the carpenters, but those that are going to be the general contractors that can come in and do this work from inside, then they can build.
God, that's good stuff. Man.
It
really is good stuff. And I don't think you're wrong at all. Like it all makes perfect sense. Do you ever wonder that you're trying to steer a cruise ship in a 90-degree turn? Like you're going to take over this city that is so used to pushing stuff off and blaming somebody else, and well, it's a state or it's the county and we can't do anything about it, and you're bringing these new ideas. Do you worry that you're going to give them a stroke?
Nah, I don't worry about that. Have your stroke. Have your stroke. I mean, I've lived my life that way, right? The way I call it when I was at Olympic College, I call it driving the bus from the back, right? Success to me, if I was elected mayor and I served a term, is how far can I push things, right? Because right now we may be at a 5% grade, right? If I can get it to 30%, man, I really pushed us in a good direction where more Bremertonians are going to be able to survive here and thrive here and be resilient and not be in survival mode, right? But we just cannot keep going at a 5% increase and think that, you know what, 5% is going to be great. And in a few years, things will work out and we're going to bring all this, money into the city and everything's going to be great. No, it's not.
Margie asked about this in chat about how we deal with the drug addiction issues, the substance abuse addiction issues. I want to expand that a little bit to the mental health as well, because we have a lot of people that are downtown in those homeless communities that don't want the services. As a dad, I got a 19-year-old daughter who's one of them. She's down on MLK. She will not come home. She will not do treatment. She will not take services. She's lucky enough to have tribal support that'll get her an apartment, and she won't take it. So she's one of those willing folks downtown that just do not want any assistance. How do we serve those people who may need the addiction assistance, that may need mental health services, that are just not willing to take it?
So I think the first thing that you have to do is you have to remove the element, like I said, right? You've got to get rid of the predators. If you get rid of the predators, well, they still find a way to get drugs. Sure, they get drugs in jails and prisons all the time. But if you can decrease it significantly, now all of a sudden it's dried up. Right? It's harder to get. And now when you don't have it and you're going through withdrawal and you're starting to think about your life, maybe think about, you know what, I want to tap out. And again, we're part of that continuum of care. When we get that call, we're taking them to the medical detox, no matter where it is, right? Yes, it would be great if it was closer, but we're going to take you where you got to go, wherever there's an open bed. So there's that. And that happens all the time, right? I mean, we are 365, 24/7. So that's how we operate, my transportation organization. So that's the first thing, right? The second thing is, you have other folks that are becoming stable over at in Port Orchard, right? Which I don't know if you toured the facility, but it's a really nice facility. There's a really large family in there right now that's near and dear to my heart, waiting on their Section 8 voucher. They're a family of 10, so they need kind of a large space. And so they're doing what they have to do to hang on. But that space is there for them, right? And they'll be okay eventually. You have Salvation Army, which is a lower barrier, but not no barrier, right? And then we have the other shelter that hopefully will be opening up. So as you start moving those folks on, right, and many of them go to work, it's like, don't get it twisted. Everyone who is, unhoused isn't an addict or an alcoholic, right? But the question is also, the longer that you're out there, the likelihood of you becoming one of those things increases quite a bit, right? Especially if you're a parent, because like, man, I'm out here and I feel like I'm failing my kid, and maybe you start leaning on some other vices. And so as we start taking those folks out, right, now we can get the folks that have mental health issues, the help that they need, right? We also need to lean into that, not only as a city, but also as a state, right? I mean, Western isn't taking people the way that they used to, and we have to address that issue. We're at a different place in society where folks aren't moving back home, right? It's just not that way. We're so much more individualistic now. So we have to find different ways to answer that. And again, some of that we're going to have to spend. It just is what it is, but we're talking about the human element, and I think we're worth it.
Dennis?
Yeah. With that though, I'd like to ask, how does that affect the individual that's out there that's not an addict, not a mental health issue, doesn't have the work, and they're living in their car parked on the side of the road, threatened with their home being impounded every other day, and I've seen it far so much. I mean, I lived at a radio station upstairs for 3 years. Without the mall knowing, without nobody knowing.
Dennis was sneaky.
Kevin knew.
I know.
And I'm not a svelte, stealthy young man.
You're a ninja, sir. You are a ninja.
But I mean, I've been there. And I mean, just struggling. So I mean, had great help for the families. That's important. But for those individuals that are still seeking that help, what do we do?
Well, and that's where the relationship building comes. And that's also where we have to change our language as well, right? Oftentimes we talk about women and children, but we don't talk about the individual. We don't talk about our men that are suffering and suffer in silence, because if they have kids, they're probably non-traditional or non-custodial parents. And so it's like, oh, well, you can fend for yourself. We have to address that. We have a lot of veterans that are out here that are unhoused, right?
Absolutely.
But part of that answer is having the communication and building the private and government relationships, right? And having everyone on board and saying, hey, you know what? You're sleeping in your car, but you're working. Again, we've worked with the church. We made it so that they can actually have folks in their parking lot so they can stay. They're going to be safe as an individual, right? And now they can go to work and save their 2.5, the amount of rent, and save for their first, last, and deposit, and make sure that everything is good. Because that's the other thing too, is like, you got this big gap. You can take someone to medical detox for 30 days. They're clean. Now they're coming right back. But what are they coming right back to? There's no housing. So that's an issue.
Right?
Because address the gap.
I'm willing to bet any amount of money. A majority of these people all have less than stellar credit scores. And can't get into anything anymore because it's based on your credit.
Well, and if you're a landlord right now, if you're somebody who has a rental property and you're comparing tenants, right? You have a tenant who works at the shipyard and they make good money and their credit report looks great when you pull it. And you have somebody that just got out of rehab or treatment or whatever,
Social Security,
and they don't really have a good credit report, and they have a questionable job history. Who are you going to help? I mean, just as a landlord, not to demonize the landlords, but you're making an investment on your property in the rest of your life.
Exactly. So how do we deal with that?
Again, it is the relationship building that has to be done. The mayor, I'm part of Rock the Block. I don't know if you know what Rock the Block is, but it's a bunch of different nonprofit leaders that came together and said, you know what, we're not going to wait on the city to do anything, or the bigger nonprofits. We're going to get down there ourselves. That's how the porta potties ended up down on MO King. We would pull our G2 grills down to the block every other Monday. Bailey Tupai and Dawn Michelle and Kimmy Sibbins and Dawn Jocelyn. I mean, there's so many, Kelsey. They would all come down and love on the people down there and provide those services that, quite frankly, they weren't being offered anywhere else. Well, the mayor, because the people on that team are going to call the mayor out, they're going to be pretty vocal, and it's not always going to be friendly. And it's like, you need to do something about that, right? And so it got to the point where he's like, I don't want to deal with anyone from Rock the Block, which is part of the reason why he ended up bringing in Common Street, which was someone that was from the outside, which is more about property preservation than actually working with the unhoused. I mean, they do work with unhoused, don't get me wrong, but their focal point is coming at it from a different angle. So again, you have to lean more into building those relationships. We were the ones that were down there when someone did put clothes in the porta potty. We'd pull them out to make sure that it still got sucked out, and we increased.
Right.
Shout out to DTG, which was the company that we used, and they were awesome, right? And we would be there when they would come and suck it out, and they would stay and they would let us pull the clothes out and do what we had to do. But they never got burnt down. There was never any severe issues that happened with those porta potties, and so we know that that model works if we just all lean in together and work together, right? Like you said, the churches, they need help. They just can't afford to do what they would love to do. But if there was some type of a subsidy and it was written in a way that it wasn't going to increase their liability so high that they just couldn't take a chance because if something happens, well, they're closing their doors as well. You know, it's like amnesty. Like you're doing a public service. You're doing a public good. How can we support you?
Yeah. Well, we're going to run just a couple minutes late, but I want to ask you one other question because and it's been mentioned a couple times in the chat. So permits in the city, I think is a monumental challenge to people building affordable housing. And it's permits for ADUs, it's permits to add on, it's permits to remodel, the pricing of permits have skyrocketed and the delays are lengthy. If you've got a business that wants to get a permit, it takes forever to get a response back from those.
Hold on, Kevin. Are you saying deregulation would be good?
That's the question. Doofus.
I think you're saying deregulation would be a good thing. We could be more nimble.
Yeah, Tom wants to answer this for you. Tom's going to run for mayor one day.
He is.
But so one
of
you
Town
have
Square Mall.
One you have really expensive. One you have really expensive permitting process. Like the over the last 5 years or so, they've just skyrocketed. Then you have significant, substantial delays. How can the city do a better job of addressing the permitting process, and what would you do to streamline this to make it so that businesses and residences aren't saddled with outrageous costs and excessive delays?
So you can look at it with your personal finances, right? You know, you've got to cover your housing, you've got to pay your electric, your utilities, you got to cover your food. Hopefully you've got some entertainment and maybe you have some credit card debt. But when things happen and you have to tighten things up, maybe you put a little less here and a little less there. If they would have leaned in and maybe went with another half FTE to bring in another permitting person to help speed up that process, that could have help to alleviate some of that, right? You also can't say, hey, you know what, the way that we're going to swing big is we're going to put it on, the developers and say, hey, we're going to increase, the cost for this permitting, and that's going to help us balance our budget when we can find some other ways to do it. Again, we have to lean in to the development from in-house.
Marwan, you were supposed to say deregulate, man.
But it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, they're charging way more for the permits. Why doesn't that mean that the permit process is better? Like if the permit price, I think it's quadrupled in the city of Bremerton over the last 5 or 6 years.
If it's
going to go that
been
high,
the county, and not just
no,
Bremerton.
but we're just talking about the district he's running for, Libertarian boys. Zip it over there. But if they're going to make the prices so high for permits, then you would think, shouldn't some of that be fed back in to be like, well, now we're making all this money off of permits. We have this crush on housing, and now we're trying to build all these units and everything. Maybe we should take some of that money and hire people to help make sure that the permits don't take forever to go.
I mean, that makes sense to me, but you still have the same issue, right? So yeah, the permits cost more. So the developers, because it's got to pencil out, they're just going to feed it on in there, and then they want their tax break, and then it just costs us more and more and more to build housing that's not truly affordable. So it doesn't fix the problem. That's really what I've been saying all night, right? We just keep chasing this thing, but we're all just chasing upward up this hill. We have to find a way to flatten this thing out somehow and try to go down the hill for a while. And so to me, you're going to have to spend a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You get that 0.5 FTE or that 1 FTE, maybe you do it for a year. Maybe you figure out how you're going to streamline this process and get these permits through. What are you going to do with the ADUs? I like what the mayor did there. We can have 2 units on there. Doing a subsidy for someone that's going to pull someone in either into their home or into one of those ADUs and give them the tax break, right? Because again, it stabilizes 2 households simultaneously. I think those are the way that you can do it, not looking at, hey, you know what, maybe we should put some more traffic lights in, traffic cameras, and do it under the guise of safety just to generate more revenue, right? If you're saying that you can't annex the residents in order for it to pencil out for the city, you would need Fred Meyer's and you would need Lowe's, right? then what do we need to do to help stimulate more business? Because that Denny's and that Sizzler is sitting empty, as well as many other businesses for a long time.
I was going to ask you about that too. That was something I was going to ask you about.
You know what I'm saying?
All the empty storefronts. Yeah.
Kevin really misses Sizzler. That's what.
Hey, Sizzler had the best wings, man. Shut up.
F-Bomb and I missed the salad bar at Sizzler's. We happened to be there the last day they did business. And we were so sad to hear they were closing our favorite salad bar.
But what a time. In 97, when I moved here, there was Black Angus,
Yep.
the Sizzler, the Keg,
Yep.
right? I mean, all within, 2 miles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, especially if you like steak.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you had Denny's. It was fantastic. What happened?
Horrible if you're vegan.
It's a great question. No, it is a good question. What happened? There's more people here now
Exactly.
than there was then. So what happened? Where did all
What
this
happened?
stuff go? And there's so many businesses that opened that cannot exist in the Bremerton city limits.
Well,
there's a reason why Walmart and Lowe's and Fred Meyer's
built right outside
are right outside.
And didn't Lowe's move from inside of
they-
Bremerton proper to
They,
just outside
they did
Bremerton
because of
proper?
the B&O structure in Bremerton.
I just think about that for a minute. Like, you're a business owner, and it is cheaper to construct a whole new building down the street than it is to stay where you are and pay the city's tax. Now, to the city's credit, they've lowered some of the B&O stuff down, and they've changed the exemption amounts and all of that. But still, to be like, God, I guess we'll spend a couple $1 million on a new building than pay the taxes. That should scream all that you need to know about how unfriendly it has been in the past, at least for a business to thrive.
And city council likes to look at sister cities and say, oh, this is what was it Lakewood, I think, is a sister city. They were even looking at Buffalo, New York as a comparative.
There's some football team there that's not.
but look at Silverdale. I mean, can they get one more business in Silverdale? How come we can't get any of the businesses down in Bremerton?
Because Silverdale's unincorporated and therefore less regulated. I'm sorry, my gold is showing.
Yeah.
So can we lean into some of that? Not all the way, but just a little bit.
I mean, yet at the same time, though, Silverdale is failing on huge levels too.
Yeah.
Look at the Kitsap County Mall.
Well, the whole mall model.
That
the
was
whole
brand new in 85, 86.
Yeah, the whole mall model is.
Well, I mean,
and is now antiquated.
Yeah, malls are rediscovering themselves, though. I mean, like the one we're in now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a different economic conversation because the internet, you know, kind of destroyed the mall idea.
It is, but I mean, you
Hold
still
on,
see
hold on,
like
hold on.
the.
We're not going to talk about the mall. We got a guy running for Bremerton.
All right,
Mayor.
fine,
We're talking about
fine,
the mall in Silverdale,
fine.
for God's sakes. Marwan, listen, I want to, we got to cut this because I want to be fair and equal time with the mayor's campaign stuff and yours. And I want to be fair, but two things I want to ask you. One, if you make it through the primary and you go on to the general, will you come back on with us again?
Absolutely.
We'll do more time with you. And when we do it the next time, I will let you pick how long you want to be in here for.
All right.
And if you say you want to do 3 whole hours, then I'm going to call anybody that you're up against because we want to give equal time and say, hey, Marwan's going to do 3 hours. You want to do 3 hours too? And they're going to say no.
I mean, but that's easy when you bring warm brownies, good company, and great spirits.
Yeah.
Can we do another roundtable?
I would love to do a roundtable. We'll talk about that too. We'll do a roundtable too. We'll talk about that. The second thing I want to ask you is, if you don't make it through and you're back doing what you're doing, can we please get you on again?
Absolutely.
And at that point, I'm not going to regulate it at all. You can come in as much as you want to, because I think what guys like you and Doc and people that are out in the communities, like I said earlier, that are not counting dollars, they're counting lives, they're counting souls, they're counting people. Who are they loving on today? Who are they helping? Who are they pulling up? Who are they helping to advance in their lives? Man, these are the stories we need to hear more about. Because if we listen to our mainstream media, everybody hates everybody. Nobody's helping nobody. Everybody's screwed.
It's not true.
And you guys are proving every single day that there's stuff that could be done at a grassroots level. And if more people were doing a fraction of what you do, it would make such an impact. And so I want to keep telling those stories.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to have Doc's studio downtown. That would just makes sense to me.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It should be there.
It'd be good. I'm gonna do my CD down there, actually.
That Boom House in Quincy Square, that'd be so cool.
It belongs there,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does for sure. Marwan, man, thanks. This has been a pleasure. I can't believe we've never connected before, but I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm glad you're doing this. And let's keep talking. Let's keep sharing stuff.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Do you have a website?
I do have a website. What's my website? Marwan Cameron for mayor.com.
Marwan Cameron for mayor.com. Check it out. I think he's on Facebook. I think he's everywhere. So learn about these guys. Listen, Bremertonians, because I can't vote because I don't have a house there, but I don't live there. do your research, right? And ask. And the question you got to ask yourself is, who's the vision you want to see? And if it's Marwan, you vote for Marwan. If it's not, you don't. But do your research. Like, get to know these guys, right? Don't just go there and put a check mark next to a name you recognize. It's not how it works. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, another guest about a totally different topic. He's not running for mayor of Bremerton, so it'll be a change up. We appreciate it. Stick around. Outlaw Radio. One more hour to go after this.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network. Back with more after this. A recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain what things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
The Outlaw Radio Network Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10. Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Ring Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Ring Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Ring Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
The older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.
It's kind of stony, huh?
It's the real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents
The Outlaw Radio Network.
To provide guidance to mankind.
Welcome back to the Outlaw Radio Network with K-Dog and DJD. The rest of them don't matter.
Yeah, there's business going on down here. So thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate it. I'm going to remove just for a moment.
Remove?
Paul is joining us by video. No, why did that get right? That should be closed.
There, Paul has audio.
Oh, hold on.
now.
Boss Baby's mic is muted, though.
It came back on because when you take it away, you go silent.
Oh, that's all right then. Well, we'll leave it up then.
Technology at its finest, right
We'll leave
here.
it up. Yeah, we'll leave it up. Okay. Tom is here. Matt Adams is going to join us just a couple of moments too. We'll bring him in and get him on the couch. Next week, by the way, the mayor of the beautiful city of Bainbridge Island is going to join us on the show.
Ace Haynes?
No, not Ace Haynes.
Oh, the
Not
other
Ace
mayor.
Haynes. Also coming up later in the show, we'll talk about all the fine folks, including Ace Haynes, that didn't make to my birthday party. Let's bring
That's
Paul
right.
into the feed. Hello, Paulie Wog. What's going on, buddy? Unmute your phone and say hello.
Hello?
What's going on, buddy?
Can you hear me okay?
Your phone's breaking up, man. The quality's awful. Like it's crackly, if that makes sense.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you, but again, it's crackly. I don't know if you're on like an earpiece or
Your audio is pixelated.
Yeah, it's not clear.
Okay. I'll reboot.
Okay. All right, buddy. We'll see you in a
Because
minute.
it was working just fine a minute ago, so I'll reboot.
No, I mean, I can hear you, but it's almost it's clicky. Go ahead and reboot.
But you sound bad.
It's
So it's
I'm
kinda
not
like
I'm not wearing
Republican.
my headphones, so
Okay, fix that and call us
okay.
back. All right. There goes Paul, the voice of reason. All right. Matt Adams joins us in studio. We're going to get him hooked up once Lori gets over here to help with the microphone, or Dennis, or somebody can. There's alcohol over there, and so nobody's paying attention to what's over here because there's alcohol.
Sorry. I'm doing Batman stuff.
Should have muted his mic, Dennis.
That's all right. Shut up.
All right. This is quality radio right here. Just so we're on the same page, Dennis. That is so loud.
I don't care.
All right. I don't even know what to do with you guys. All right. Matt Adams is going to join us. Matt has been active with the camera. And so I'm going to let Matt tell about what he does, because I don't think I'll give it justice. But Matt, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Kevin, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. We've never met face to face before, have we?
No, I think this is my third time being on, and this is the second time we've been in studio together. Maybe
me and you have been in studio together.
I think the first time, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the show, man. How
Thank
are
you. I'm doing really good.
It's still busy with the camera.
Yeah, it's been a fun summer. It's been awesome.
So talk about what you're doing, because if I tell you what the general consensus is, you're either a patriot and you're filming what's going on to highlight what's really happening, or, and I'm on the internet so I can say this, you're a shit stirrer and you're just trying to create problems. Talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
I'm just a regular guy. I'm doing this. I want a better community for my kids, and I don't know. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. So what are you seeing when you're out there videoing? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the people behind you to stop talking because your mic's picking it up.
No,
I'm throwing brownies at them. What are you seeing when you're out there? What are you experiencing when you're at these rallies and out these protests? What are you seeing?
It's craziness. So the first one that I went to was the Riley Gaines event when Riley Gaines came to Seattle, and I had sent Jonathan Cho a message, and I said, hey, I want to come over and help cover this. And so he was like, yeah, absolutely, great. We'll hook up down there. So I went over. It's my first time, and I knew nothing about this. Yeah. And so I was down there, and I saw people dressed in black. I saw men wearing mini skirts. I saw women dressed like men. I saw all kinds of craziness. And so I talked to some of the folks that were down there, and I said, what are you down here for? Like, what do you want to, you trying to make change? And they said, no, we're trying to shut this event down. And so I was like, wow, what's going on? Because typically people protest and there's something specific, but it's kind of like with this movement with the indivisible folks, there's no authenticity to it. They're going out there and they've done No Kings twice, or I don't know what they called the last one. So anyways, so I'm like, what is going on? So there was only one person that I knew to call, and I reached out to Hanny Baxter. Shout out to Hanny. She's a wonderful lady.
She's great, isn't she?
She's awesome. And I said, hey, this is what I saw last night. It doesn't seem like Republicans, but it doesn't seem like Democrats. What is going on? And she immediately was like, hey, she started giving me the breakdown. You got Democrats, you got the DSA, you got anarchists. And so she said a lot of what that is anarchy. It's not political stuff. They're not trying to infect any change. They just want destruction. And so after she schooled me up on that, then I went to the next event, which was the Christian concert in downtown Seattle. And they wouldn't let me in. The cops wouldn't let me in because I couldn't name the church. And so they go, sorry, you can't come in. You got to go over there. So I'm like, oh man. So I walk over, and there I am with the protesters and Antifa, and I'm live streaming, and they have no idea who I am. There's 3 feet in front of me is Shawama Sawant.
Oh, she's a peach, isn't she?
Oh man, I took a selfie with her. I was like, "This is crazy." And there was a dude in a dress.
Did you feel like Tim Eyman behind Jay Inslee? Like that same feeling,
dude. It was nuts. So I'm standing there, and these guys don't know who I am. And that was the day that Jonathan Cho got attacked. He was on the other side, and so he got attacked. They're like, somebody's getting arrested over there. Well, out walks Katie Davis Court, and I've never met Katie Davis Court, and so the Antifa folks and the protesters start hounding her, and she's standing her ground, and she's laughing at them, and then it gets quiet, and so I kind of had this OODA loop moment, you know, if you know what the OODA loop is, and so I said, I'm gonna shout out, Katie, you're awesome, and clip it tomorrow, and she's either gonna like it if I'm lucky, or these guys are gonna pound me right here.
Oh no.
And so it gets quiet, and I yell out, Katie, you're awesome. And she looks up from her phone and turns, and she says, hey, thank you. So then I met her. We started working together like a month ago. And so I told her that story, and she started laughing. She goes, you looked so out of place. She goes, I hadn't even met you, and I could tell just by looking at you that you were not supposed to be there. So yeah, we did that, the Seattle stuff. This stuff here in Kitsap County is really small.
Yeah.
It almost seems like a waste of time. Like when I ran for city council, and I know you got the mayor candidates in there, but what we have to deal with over here is nothing compared to like what I'm seeing down in Portland, where the city comes in and says, we shut down the encampment, and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
They don't enforce it. The Portland police don't come there. I brought some stuff. There's one sign. Where's the camera? So I know not.
Camera's right here.
Okay, so I'll show the one sign. This is from 2 weeks ago.
You show whatever you want, man.
Well, it's got foul language.
That's okay.
We're just on the internet, man. There's no regulation.
So the beauty is here we're no longer on AM, and I keep poking at Kevin about the fact that we're less regulated now, therefore better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's that deregulation, buddy?
I hate you.
Don't you hate me?
Yeah.
So this is the first one that I took, and I try to go down there and I try to bring something back or take some piece of their propaganda. That was the first one.
For those of you who can't read, in Belfair, it said "fuck ICE." But
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So you got the ICE building. Behind it, you have the Tesla dealership, and then next to it, you have a school, and then a kids' school, and then across the street from that is the low-income housing. So I took one of these.
That's a warning. This area has been sprayed with tear gas and toxic chemicals, not safe for dogs, kids, or anyone. This is being done by ICE, DNS, and PPB.
That's DHS.
That's what I said, didn't it?
You said N.
Oh, okay. DHS, Department of Homeland Security.
This is I don't know if you saw the clip from yesterday with me flipping the medical station. It's actually a donation station. That's the place that Antifa has been using to have people drop off their medical supplies and food. This was actually on the power pole buy it, and I brought this home as a souvenir because I think I earned this.
Notice of unauthorized campsite, but then it says ICE out of Portland.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's right now 77,000 views when I checked it in the parking lot before I came in here.
Yeah.
And that's not even 24 hours old.
Wow.
That's crazy. Check this out. This is from 2 weeks ago too. I'll let you hold that.
What is it?
That is a government
grenade
issued
pin.
safety pin off one of the
Oh,
Good,
one
there you go.
of the tear gas grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out, they'll throw them, they'll shoot them. Yeah, they just handle business.
Yeah, that is definitely a grenade pin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You want to see it?
Oh, I've seen them. Yeah.
When we talk with Brandy Cruz.
Oh, Brandy.
Yeah, right
She's
after.
awesome.
Yeah, she's great. Right after she had her issues downtown too, when she was outside of the federal building, and I actually work in the federal building in downtown Seattle.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, my building, by the way, is
You're right there.
Still
Second
graffiti
Marion.
like crazy, man. It's
I was
still,
there. I was there the riot night.
Yeah.
The night they lit the dumpster on fire.
Yeah.
I was right there when the guy lit it on fire.
You know what's great about that?
What's that?
They were like, well, clearly the federal authorities that run, the federal building aren't going to deal with us. So let's push this out in the street because we know that Seattle PD is not going to do anything.
Yep.
And that was exactly what that thing got pushed out in the middle of the street. They knew that if they tried to light it up on federal property, it would have been an issue.
Yeah.
We don't see this kind of behavior from conservatives.
No,
we
never.
don't. And again, I look, I'm the resident Democrat on the show, and we've talked about this ad nauseum 100,000 times. I'm not like the left progressive Sharma Sawant Democrat. That's not my role. But we don't see this behavior from people that claim to love the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and are conservatives. Is it because I've always asked the question, is it because the left just cares more? Like, is it because they're willing to get out and get dirty and get pepper sprayed and tear gas for their cause, and they want to make a stink and they want to get eyes on them and they want everybody to pay attention? Or is that an unfair characterization?
Well, I did the protest outside Tara Simmons' house. Right. I did that. God, when was that? I think that was March when I did that. That video, that was my biggest video until last week, and that was at 55,000 views. And so I tried to round up as many people as I could. My goal was 50 people. I was like, I think I could get 50 people to do this. We got a felon in office. We don't need to get into it. We all know the story, right? Yeah. We all know the story. And I was able to get 24 people together. And I couldn't even go to the KCRP. I'm not a member of the KCRP. I'm not a member of the Kitsap County Democrats. I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a dude, a single dad with a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old daughter and an iPhone and an X account. That's it. That's all I am.
Yeah.
And so that's, for some reason, I don't know if it's because the Democrats have more free time on their hands. But they seem to be able to muster the troops in higher numbers than Republicans do. In this state, Republicans used to be a speed bump for the Democrats, and now the Republicans have turned into a pothole. The Democrats have just completely taken over. And so why would the Republicans in the state want to come in and put money into any of the races here?
Yeah, we talked about that a lot on the show. Yeah.
All we can get is Michelle Caldier in the office. That's it.
And she's a peach.
And she's awesome. I like Michelle. So I just think that they're able to muster people, and they can just go round more bodies up for that stuff and hand them a sign. I didn't even bring the sign from the No Kings. I grabbed a Babes for Bigots sign and walked around, and the people had already known me from the first Indivisible protest, and they're like, "You're not a babe, Matthew." And I was like, "How are you gonna say that about me, man? Come on!" And,
all right, I got Paul back on the video stream. We'll see if his mic's better. What's up, Paul?
Can you hear me now?
God, it's awful.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. Go ahead, Paul.
Thanks. Yeah, I can kind of hear you. You sound awful.
Yeah, it's just cutting. It's just not a clear connection, but we'll work with it. You have a question, comment from Matthew?
What's great? Well, I don't know so much of. Listen, so Matthew and I've been conversing back and forth quite a bit over the last couple of months. He kind of keeps me in the loop when he's out, and he's well, let's just say when he's on a mission. And he's not, to the best of my knowledge, Mormon, if you catch my drift. It's interesting. There's personally, I'm seeing a metamorphosis for him. So I'll ask you kind of more directly, Matt, because like I said, we've been in this industry a long time, and we see a lot of people come and a lot of people go, and they have different agendas. Tell the listeners a little bit about Matt Adams and Matt's agenda, because for me, I saw your political activism kind of begin with a showdown with a Bremerton City Council member in a Nazi uniform. So explain to the listeners a little bit about where you started and why, so we can kind of get into where you're at now.
So yeah, this whole thing kind of started when I saw that video, when I saw the councilman in Bremerton get up and talk about being a racist, and I just said,
right?
Good now, yeah. And I said, this is crazy. And it was 2020, and so I went and had that big sign made, and I stood outside his home for 17 days. And the first day he came out, or he didn't come out, he went to the window and he looked out the window, and then he went back, and my daughter was with me, and I said, there he was right there. And so we stayed out there for 17 days, and I met some people and they came out, and they were really nice and supportive. And that's when I started hearing people's problems. And I had to shift my mindset from doing the talking to listening to people. And so then I started listening to people, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should run for office. Maybe this is what I got to do. And so I remember talking to my girl's my mother, the girl's mother, and said, hey, I'm thinking about running for city council in Bremerton. And she goes, you're not going to win, and when you lose, we're moving out of Bremerton. And I said, deal. And so we took it, and then I filed and ran and lost, and then we moved on and we got out of there. And so then I just was kind of like, well, what do I do now? And then I'm watching YouTube one day, and I come across this video of this guy down in Texas just sticking it to the city council. I'm like, who is this dude? This is crazy. And where was this guy a couple months ago when I was running for office? I would have paid this dude to come up to our city council meeting, and his name was Alex Stein. And so I just started following him and watching what he was doing and going, okay, this is awesome. What this guy's doing is great, and I need to get him up here. So I'd send him emails. Hey, what I got to do to get you to come up, talk in one of our city council meetings? I lost my race, and I still want to do what I can to affect it. And he's like, I'm just so busy, I can't. And so then I just got on X and just started going around and posting stuff and trying to identify things locally that were going on. This year was really busy. I started out with the governor's ball. I went to the governor's ball in January. That's where I met, we haven't gotten into the big booty Latinas thing, but
we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't jump ahead on me.
No, I'm not. But that's where I met and got my picture taken with my favorite big booty Bremolo, Tara Simmons. So I'm coining.
Come on.
I'm coining that term on the show right now. She's
Big
my
booty
favorite.
Yeah,
Big booty
I'm going to go on record and say I don't
That's
that's
okay.
appropriate. But okay, you can say what you want to. But
That's okay.
I gotta,
So yeah, and
You
then
were
after
on
that,
record as saying you thought she had a nice ass, Kevin. So I don't know what you.
I never talked about her ass. But
you did.
You know what, Paul?
You did.
Don't misrepresent me. Show up 2 hours late and then tell lies about me. I got in a fire. All right. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
no, it's all good. And with summertime, Antifa is just the flavor of the season.
Yeah.
So it's been really quiet in Seattle the last month or so, and so that's given me the opportunity to stretch out, go down to Portland, where I've hooked up with Honey Badger Mom, and I've been able to hook up with Katie Davis Court down there, and a guy named Ryan Armacher, Veli Ray, who's a YouTube streamer. And so what I didn't expect was when I was in Las Vegas in April and we did our yearly Alex Stein get together with all our groups, and he told me, he's like, I want you to go home and really pound it and get on this stuff. And I said, okay. And so I came home and just been trying to shoot as much as I can and get out there and put a light on it.
Does it worry you that it's been so quiet? Like that, because I would have expected after the last brouhaha outside of my office space that was like the beginning of an escalation. And instead it lasted a few days and then just kind of pooped out. There was supposed to be nationwide protests on Thursday, and it didn't really feel like it grabbed hold around here. Does it worry you that it's gotten so quiet? Like maybe there's a swell coming later, or have they just gotten lazy and or defeated?
I think that the flavor, the tone that's in the air is different than what's happening in 2020. What they need right now, what Antifa needs, is they need a mortar. They need a George Floyd. They need someone on their side to get attacked and have that happen. The last thing that the conservatives or the people who are against Antifa need or want is a Kyle Rittenhouse 2.0 situation where we get a guy down there with a firearm, just looking to fight, knowing, okay, I'm going to pull this on the first person that I see or whatever. That's not good.
So that the immigration issue with ICE and all that, you don't think is enough to crystallize what they need. They need something actually where they can put a face.
These guys are not effective. These guys haven't made any kind of change. so they're not affecting. What they did was they petitioned. Okay, check this out. Let me give you this scenario. They petitioned and they did a city council meeting. I think it was a week and a half ago to revoke the federal license for the ice building. How about they try that in Bremerton and the shipyard, and they try to shut that down, and everyone's protesting outside the shipyard. I mean, come on, that wouldn't happen. You'd have Bremerton police down there. What it is you have the mayor, you have the police department, and you have this activity, this group, whatever it is, and their leadership, and they're kind of in on it together. And so the mayors and these police chiefs, what I'm seeing is they kind of allow it through the policies for these people to go out and kind of do this stuff. And that's why it's kind of prolific up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
We don't see this. We don't see this in Kansas City. We don't see this.
Bruce Harrell is certainly part and parcel of what's going on in Seattle.
Yeah.
Like Seattle is the only city I can think of where they would spend billions of dollars to fix their waterfront and make it gorgeous, right? That waterfront project, I mean, you can argue the cost and fiscal responsibility, but the project itself is gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
The Overlook Park, the connection to the aquarium, it looks gorgeous. Seattle's the only town I would know that would do that and then completely ignore the safety factor in the exact same area.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make it gorgeous for tourists, but we're not going to make it safe for tourists. And then you're surprised when people aren't showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in that waterfront at least once or twice a week, depending on when I go to the office, right? There's nowhere near the bodies down there that used to be down there, and it's summer. It's the middle of
such an
summer.
amazing point you're making, dude. And that really is. That's a great point you're making.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question: how many Mariners games did you go to back in the '90s? And you're trying to make that 12:30 ferry, and there's a bum taking a dump and outside his tent right there underneath the viaduct.
Give us $5 to move over and do it in front of the other guy.
You know, yeah. I mean, so those days are gone. Those days are gone. That's a really good thing.
Yeah. Well, but those days aren't done though. I mean, you're still dodging piles of human feces when you're walking around downtown.
That's true.
You know,
Those
I mean, they're not listen, they're not Democrats.
No.
Bite your tongue. Some of those are bets that have been completely screwed and don't have anywhere to go.
Hey,
that 22 a day is a real thing, by the way.
I'm going to interrupt here real quick, Matt.
A libertarian moment brought to you by
no,
Black
it's
Green
not a
Spirits.
libertarian moment. It's a proper host moment. Matt, you're in a distillery tasting room. Can I interest you in a beverage, or are you good with your water bottle?
I'll try. I'll try something.
Okay, well, what's your thing, my friend?
Whatever.
Fire
surprise-
water.
Surprise him.
Are you a whiskey guy?
Candy apple
Yes.
red, dude.
Okay,
Yeah, just a little bit.
I
though.
got you.
Candy
I
apple
got to
red,
drive
dude.
home.
I got you.
So
No, you don't. You can stay here. He's got a couch.
okay.
So Kevin, if I might interject, because we started going down this road with Matt about his motivations, right? So, and how it kind of started with the Bremerton City Council and Michael Goodnow. And so, if I'm understanding you correctly, you just were wanting to find a way to stay involved. So, a key question is, are you wanting to stay involved for your community because you want to make it a better place and you don't like some of the things that are going on? Or are you looking at this from more of a political vector, right? Are you more into these things that are being protested politically, and are you trying to make a statement? What's Matt's thought process here?
I wasn't trying to stay in it at all. I was trying to move away.
Liar.
You know, no. I mean, even I did. I tried to stay away for a while, but
This is why Paul didn't come into studio so he could call you a liar and not get punched in the nose.
No, but it's hard to take what is it? Take the fight out of the dog. You know, you can take the
Yes.
dog out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the dog. And that's kind of what this is. And now that I have children, it's like, okay, obviously running for office was not how it was supposed to play out for me. So now how else can I affect change? Calling up a city council meeting and saying your name's Jamal and the whole glory hole deal. I mean, that stuff's funny and stuff.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So when
hold on.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. On YouTube right now. Go look.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did. So it was when remember when they did the huge homeless encampment deal last year, and they had the whole community came in, and it was tense and it was super long, and they shut it down and took a recess at one point. Well, I was watching it. My house was being built, so I was living in a camper. at the
Okay.
time. I was living in a 29-foot camper when my house was done, and so I was watching that, and so I'd found this AI voice program, and so I wrote out this deal, and it was like, my name was Jamal. Me and my high school friends have been hanging out the glory hole. We met nice people. Thank you for keeping it open. And it made it about that far before Jeff Coughlin. The room started laughing. Jeff Coughlin's like, "That is not a human. That's thank you."
My pleasure. My whiskey sour.
This is enthralling radio. Pause. Take a drink. Tom, I hate you.
So
is that good? Is that
Yeah,
good?
Tom,
Man.
point at Tom. Tom's got to show off the
Good
wares,
stuff.
man. He's earned it.
Black Ring Spirits, good stuff.
That is really good.
All right, Black Ring Spirits, the official distillery of the Outlaw Radio Network.
What was that? Where was I talking about?
I have that effect on people. I'm sorry.
You were talking about
It only took one sip.
Jamal. Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
one sip.
Yeah. So I did that, and my buddy John was in the room, and he texted me. He's like, "Bro, this place just erupted." And in the video, if you go watch the video, you can see Michael Goodnow turn to Jeff Coughlin. He goes, "Matthew Adams," and Jeff goes, "Yep." And then the next month, the Bremerton City Council changed the rules so that you couldn't use any kind of voice changer or voice assistants to call in. And they also set up that deal where you had to register beforehand, so you had to talk. So I've had a little bit of change, a little bit of success locally with that kind of stuff.
Have you tried to talk since then, and have they throttled you at all down? Or
No, I've stayed away. What was the last one I went to? You know, I went to the Anna Mockler deal in the pig suit. I did the Swine Time 99. That was the first thing that I did.
Yeah, Lilac commented in chat about that, disapproving of your quote gross attack on Anna Mockler. Can you talk about what that was?
Yeah, so Anna Mockler was fired from the city of Bremerton. Yet she was running for office, and she wouldn't acknowledge that she had been fired. And so I asked the city, I did a FOIA request, and so they provided the documents that she was fired. And so when I went to that, I had the documents in my hand and confronted her on why she had been fired, what she had been fired for, and why she wasn't telling anybody that. So Lila, that's the whole story.
Lila,
from my end. If you want to reach out to Anna Mockler for a comment, feel free to do that, and just CC me in the comment line. I'm dead serious, you know. So
let me, and I'm not saying this, but some people would say you're not helping the process. I mean, it's funny to call with the voice changer thing and ask questions. It's funny to dress up in the pig suit, all that, but you're not helping the process. How do you respond to that?
You're kind of right. You kind of have to look at things and kind of get serious and go, okay, so all these guys kind of have like a niche. You got guys that do gun stuff on YouTube, and you got guys that do this. And so I knew that wearing the inflatables, I bought all those inflatables for my kids. I bought the pig suit because my daughter, when she turned 4, wanted me to dress up as a pig because she loved pigs. So I did that. Then the next year she wanted me to dress up as Buzz Lightyear. So I got a Buzz Lightyear costume. So like, that's why I bought that stuff for. That's for my kids. It's just stuff I got laying around.
And now what are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Good.
Wear it to a protest, man. That's what you're going to do with it.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, that's what I got that for. And so like in my videos, I'm not swearing. I'm not, I want my kids, every time I come home from one of these, like Paul says, missions, first thing I do is I hand my oldest my iPhone, and she starts scrolling to see like, you know, what was dad up to, you know? So
it does seem rather hypocritical, right? For the folks to be so offended by what you're doing. Like they don't have to agree with it politically or whatever, but to be so offended when we see so much other stuff that is far more offensive, so much other stuff that is far more questionable. You know what I mean? If the worst thing you did is show up in a Buzz Lightyear outfit to a protest and ask questions, is that really the worst thing in the world? Probably not. But it's also driving a lot of views, right? It's drawing a lot of attention to it. Hopefully that this is what we're dealing with. This is what's going on in this state. This is the situation that people like you, a single dad, or maybe not a single dad, but a dad, single dad, 2 kids, and this is your frontline people.
Could you imagine if I was dating a woman and I was out there doing this? She wouldn't want me doing this. She'd be like, "Why? I want you home with me."
Well, unless she's crazy, then she'd be out there doing it with you.
Yeah,
running your camera.
Let me tell you, 26 years of radio every Sunday night for 20 plus years. Yeah, you're right, Matt. That's exactly what they will say to you. I do find it interesting, right? And it took me, admittedly, because Matt and I were having some conversations back and forth recently, and we were talking about motives and things that we're trying to be achieved. And it does take a moment because we've been in an insulated world of talk radio, right? Where you have a certain level of decorum. We're either critical or complimentary, or we want to have conversations with people and stuff like that. But you're right about something, Matt, and I think this is really important. And it's something that I had to kind of stop, take a step back and a breath to recognize, because I absolutely detest it when I see people on the left doing this stuff. I was really pissed off about January 6th, right? Like, because I'm all good about the protest, right? But then there's this line. And, then I kind of had this epiphany, I think. And a whole lot of things impacted that, but what isn't as important as that had happened. And what I had to realize about the things that you're doing, Matt, is that you're using humor and you're using the mirror technique to point out the absurdity in a lot of the behavior and things we're seeing from groups like Antifa, some of these, No King's Day protesters and stuff like that. And by the mirror technique, I mean basically you're holding the mirror up to the other person so they can see themselves, right? The actions this weekend destroying the tent. By the way, I would have only done one thing different. Major kudos to you. I would have taped a $100 bill and then kept the camera running to see them fight over it when they got back and found it destroyed. So, because y'all know that should have been funny, but and I think that Lila's behavior kind of in chat, it exemplifies that, right? Like, my side's going to do this. You look at the things that Holly posts on Facebook all over the place, and she's all about those kinds of actions, man. She's telling people to stop thinking and stop second guessing themselves and just go with, whatever feels right to them at that moment, right? I mean, to me, that's literally an incitement to people to create destruction and to cause problems. We see people standing in front of streets, stopping traffic for hours, stopping emergency vehicles, right? They do this stuff regularly. They don't think twice about it, and they don't give two shits about who, what, where, when, why, or how they impact someone or somebody, right? The things that you are doing are inconsequential in the grand scheme. They're also humorous. They're laced with humor, right? But the humor is about pointing out the absurdity of their own actions. This is my opinion. You haven't told me this. And which is why I wanted to have the conversation with you about your own evolution, right? And kind of where it came from. But I can't get away. You look at comments in the chat room, right? And it oozes from the pores of the skin, the level of hypocrisy
in the chat right now
that comes from people. So,
Oh, we have a chat. Yeah, we have a live chat. You should listen to the show and watch us on Facebook.
I want to
sometime.
read
You
the
would-
comments. I mean,
Oh, the comments are great.
it's called culture jamming, Paul. That's the term. There's
That's a
trolling.
new one.
There's trolling, and then there's culture jamming, and that's this thing that Alex is taken on and pushed, and that's what this is. This is culture jamming, where, like you said, you hold a mirror up and you let them talk and let them try to figure it out. So.
48 Laws of Power, Matt. If you haven't read it, read it. It's a great book.
Lila said in chat, so what if she was fired? Who cares? She ran on her policies and won. It doesn't mean you have to grossly attack her. Look, here's the deal. I'm just going to answer this. If I'm a voter in her district, I want to know if she was fired from her job working for the city, which is the same city she's trying to win a elected representative position in, right? Like, I'd like to know why she was fired. I think that's a relevant point. I don't know, like, I haven't seen the video or I don't know anything about it, right? So I don't know how you went after her, if it was a gross attack or whatever. So I can't comment to that. But I'd certainly want to know if she got fired and why.
I didn't personally attack her. I didn't attack her looks. I didn't attack any of that, So I just went in there and if you watch the video, I said, explain this.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, and here's the deal too. Like you had a shot on Tara earlier, and I had to push back on that a little bit. But here's the deal. It's really hard for me to get too broken or upset about people making comments about physical appearance or whatever, towards people on the left when the left has been screaming at us for years about how we're bigots and racists and sexists and misogynists. Like, one side can do blanket attacks all they want to, and if we say one thing negative, we're hateful schmucks.
Kevin, it's funny you have a we in there.
We? Yeah.
Yeah. Considering your the set of your political sale.
Remember, I'm moderate.
Yeah.
I'm a moderate Democrat.
No, I understand.
I'm a Bill Clinton Democrat minus the cigar in the Oval Office. I'm a Bill Clinton Democrat.
Knee pads and okay.
Yeah, Lila wants me to play the video. Lila, I'm not going to play the video because I can't review it to play it. And I know that you would just like me to blanket just play something because you sent it to me, and I'm not going to watch it first. But this show's got my name on it.
It'd give me a view.
Like,
that would be one.
You know what I mean? Like, let me watch it this week, and we'll play it on next week's show. But I'm not going to play some video that I haven't had a chance to look at just because you're asking me to do that. It doesn't make any sense. Because
what video is she asking you to play, Kevin?
One of the ones from
in the pig suit when I went to Anna Mockler's. It's a town hall meeting that she does every month. So that's her, and so I'm going to give Anna I'm going to give her some credit, Ms. Mockler, Councilmember Mockler. I'm going to give her some credit. She holds regular meetings with the community and has people show up. Maybe they're planted there, maybe they're authentic, but she does actually get out there and do that outreach. So. Okay. And I just happened to go to one that she advertised as a public deal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it was a private event and I kicked the door in.
So just to be clear, so you show up at this thing in a pig suit with a copy of the FOIA papers that explain that she was fired.
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking her, can you explain why you were fired?
That's the video right there.
Okay.
And she wouldn't do it. So that's why I like Lila. She's saying, show the video. I agree. Show the video.
Okay.
And
well,
then then turn around and ask Councilmember Mockler about it and say, what is this about?
Well, here's the problem, right? The left have gone all chicken crap about coming on this show.
Kevin,
for the most part, not all of them, but most of them. Yes, Tom.
Chicken crap or chicken most of them, and it's not chicken crap. It's chicken shit.
Well, I'm trying not to swear. It's a church thing for me. I'm trying to get better at my
crap
potty
and
mouth.
shit are the same damn word, dude.
I understand that, but one is acceptable and one's not. I'm trying to. Shut your whore mouth. God. Kevin's trying to better himself and not be quite as abrasive, and Tom's like, "Fuck you." God, I hate you.
Hey, I mean, in defense of Tom, David Lee Roth, when recording, Jamie's crying.
Yeah.
The producer made him go outside and smoke a joint with Earth, Wind, and Fire's roadies.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not surprised at that.
Besides, Kevin's had a very, very busy weekend.
It's been very. It's been listen
Very.
in the
He's
last.
so exhausted.
Listen,
Same thing with Dennis.
In the last 10 days, I've done 3 weddings.
I wasn't giving you that much.
No, but I'm saying in the last 10 days, I've done 3 weddings, 1 3-day camping trip, 1 night at karaoke, 1 night playing softball, 1 night going to a Rainiers game.
Lots of tequila.
Oh my God, so much tequila.
Kevin,
so
I
grew up in Gorst.
I drank with you on karaoke night.
Hey, Paul, how many shots
Yes.
of tequila did we do together on Friday night? Oh, that's right. You didn't fucking show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Where in the world is
St. Paul, the voice of reason. All right. Okay, back to our guest. I hate all of you for getting me all riled
That's going to be recorded, by the way.
up. I hate all of you for getting me riled up. What's next?
Yeah, Dennis May recorded tonight's show.
Yeah. What's the plan? What's next? What's your next monkey wrench in the works? Or are you not going to tell us so that they don't get a heads up?
Can't say monkey wrench. That's racist.
Oh, I hope you die in a fire.
What do you mean you can't say monkey wrench? That's a Foo Fighters
Let
song.
the guest answer the question, you schmucks.
I didn't know my co-host was racist.
Go ahead.
Paul's taking it back.
Go ahead, buddy.
I'll just
You like me as a host better than Paul, don't you?
You guys are both wonderful.
Okay.
You guys are both great.
Good.
Sure you did.
Diplomatic answer.
You totally should run for
Damn.
office again with that answer.
No,
Damn it, I totally
because I got
one.
a bone to pick with
No.
Mr. Adams. So let him answer the question so I can lay down my bone.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
What was the question again? What was it?
What's next? What's your next planned appearance, or is it secret so that they can't prep for it?
We'll see when I open X and see what the next big event is.
Okay.
And if I choose to go to it or not.
Okay.
Oh, I like
That's
your
a good
approach.
answer, man.
I like your approach. Just fly by the seat of the pants. What feels good?
I mean, you know, the only thing holding me back, honestly, is I have my kids, you know, every other weekend. So the weekends I don't have them, I'm out there if there's something going on. Like I went to one in Tukwila 2 weeks ago at the ice center there, and it was terrible. It was so weak, and it was a group that came out from Portland, and I was like, I put all that stuff on TikTok, and I'm like, and I'm dancing with them. I'm dressed in the black bloc dancing with these Latina gals, and that's when I was like, you know what? I got an idea. I've got an idea for something down in Portland, and that's where I came up with the idea to do the sign and do the pig suit down there. So,
all right, Paul's going to hold you accountable for something, but before he does that, can I ask you one question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's pretend you and I were friends.
Okay, we are.
No, but I mean, we'd hung out.
We're
We'd done a radio show together for the
Jesus
better
Christ,
part of
Kevin.
25
Oh my God.
years. Kevin has a big birthday karaoke party.
boy,
You're
here we go.
invited. Would you show? Would you be there for your 25-year friend, 28-year friend, whatever it is?
Friendship.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Remember when I came on the show and I told Kevin that I had a huge sign to put in his front yard? The Michael Goodell sign. He said no.
Yes.
All right.
Whatever. You just should have done the sign. That Robert Parker did the Trump sign in my yard. Didn't ask my permission. We saw what happened with that.
Yeah.
I got famous all over the country for that.
Didn't it make it like 14 feet in the air or something?
Oh yeah, with
That's
a
awesome.
trail cam and Sarah Palin sharing it on Facebook. and my
awesome.
15 minutes of fame.
That was before my days as an outlaw.
Yeah, and
Was
then I
Bigfoot
moved.
there?
No, because there is no Bigfoot. You schmuck. Paul, you have you want to hold our guest accountable is what you have something to hold Matt accountable for?
I do. I'm actually really upset with Matt, and I want to make this very public.
Why he didn't come into the show to
and
do it in person.
it was, well, this is the kind of thing that really pisses a guy off. And so Matt, I appreciate you being here, but this is important for me to put this out there. Here's the thing. So Matt and I were talking, we were going over stuff here, and like we've been talking ever since the whole Michael Goodenow thing, right? So this has been a few years, right? Right, a few years, since about 2020 or so, Matt, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
This motherfucker went to Vegas with my sister, never said a word, like, oh yeah, man, I went and hung out with your sister in Vegas. Like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's how you start a conversation, brother. You'd be like, by the way, I went to Vegas with your sister. Like, that's a really important part of the conversation to lead out. And then just out of the blue, I asked him the other day, I'm like, do you know my sister? Oh yeah, we went to Vegas together. Like, what?
I think you're sad he didn't take you with him. That's what I think. Have you, ever
Probably a little
been,
bit.
He comes out.
have you ever been to Vegas, Paul?
No. I've been to Reno, which is like Vegas.
Hold it.
Saying you've been to Reno is like, hey, have you ever been to Bremerton? No, but I've been to Gorst. It's not even the same, man.
How long have I been part of this show now?
3 years?
I think we're creeping
No.
up on 4.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Paul,
I think
how
it's
did I
4.
not know you had a sister? I've met your brother.
How did you not know
Because
you
my
had
s- my
sister?
s- my
I didn't know
sister
Paul
has
had a sister.
scleroderma.
Oh shit!
has-
Now Dennis has Dennis is even deeper.
And I've met your brother.
People.
How many
do you
brothers
not
does he have?
remember?
Hold on.
2.
How many brothers does he have? You
Two.
think 2? How many does he have, Tom?
One I know of because I've met him. His name's Caleb.
Matt, how many brothers does Paul have?
3?
Unless
Lori?
one of his brothers used to be a sister.
Lori, how many
Or his
brothers?
sister used to be a brother.
How many brothers does Paul have?
I think he has 2.
Paul, you have 2 brothers, correct?
I have 2 brothers and a
Yeah,
sister.
2 brothers and a
sister.
sister. There you go.
Yeah.
Lila said Gorse is like Narnia. It doesn't exist. Well, I'll tell your ass right now, man. Every time I get stuck in that stupid shipyard traffic coming into Gorse,
Lila,
it
that's
certainly exists.
hilarious.
That is funny, Lila.
Well, actually,
is-
Gordon,
that is funny.
because you barfed there, right? Kevin,
Hey, I got a last question here I want to throw at Matt.
There is a pile
Yeah.
of Kevin Vomit in Gorst from Friday night.
The
When I-
landmark
Friday
has
night.
been marked.
When I got taken home from the bar on Friday night, my friends Luke and Bree gave me a ride home, and we had to pull over in Gorst. I had to get out and Ralph back behind the car.
Kevin
And-
did not vomit. He ate backwards.
And here's the deal. All I have to
eating in
do, I
reverse.
just hope nobody gets murdered in Gorge because my DNA is all over the place. All right, Bob,
Yeah,
go, Paul, go
with
ahead.
plentiful tequila.
Oh
People
God,
will
the
figure
tequila
it
was
out.
so good though, man.
They'll
You-
figure it out.
By the way, people that have tequila shots
Tequila
with like
smelling vomit. That's great.
orange and cinnamon as the chaser, that is really weird. But
Ooh,
go ahead.
no, that sounds
Go ahead, Paul.
delicious.
Shut up! Don't encourage it, you libertarian schmuck. Go ahead, Paul.
All right. So anyway, here's my question for Matt. With all of the things that are going on politically, what would be like?
Unlimited 1.5.
Because effectively, Matt, you're infiltrating Antifa. That's essentially what you're doing, and going in there and you're getting great video footage so that people they can be exposed, that people can see them for what they're really all about, right? So that people can hear them talk candidly behind the scenes, right? Because they would you agree that they have a public face, and then they have like an action face, but they don't. I don't think they really want people to hear what they say candidly away from the cameras. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, they say that they're losing the media war, but then when you pull your camera out, they don't want you to record them. It's a really weird culture, Paul, when you say that, because like last weekend when I was down there, when we do these, like last weekend, Shelly and I were down there. I was in block and she was in normal clothes. So I went in about 15 minutes early. She stayed back. I went in, go in, walk around, count how many bodies are in there, count how many men, how many women. There's always a shot caller. There's always somebody that's in charge of the event, and then walk and do a perimeter and check and see what's going on around there. Has anybody got weapons? Are any of the normal people that are down there that are threatened all the time? And then text and send it to her. And, when I walked in, there were 3 people in front of me in block, and I was by
When you say in block, what does that mean?
Black block.
Black block.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a complete black, no markings, no anything.
Right. Okay.
And so
No identifying character.
no identifying. And so this is an opportunity where there's 3 people walking in. There's 2 groups walking in, a group of 3 and a group of 1. Or you walk up, you're polite, say, hey, how's it going? And then you got 1 group of 4, and then you don't stand out. So that's what I did last weekend. I was really successful getting in there and getting some good stuff. And you just get in there and talk to these people. Unfortunately, now I'm being hunted by them because of the event with the medical deal. They were hunting for me last night. They found me. I was surrounded by 15 of them. The one dude with the skateboard in the back, that was enough for me to kind of relook at it and go, okay, I don't maybe need to get the views tonight that I want to get. And so I called it quits and went home. But now when I go down there this next weekend, which you should go with me, you drive down, I'll pay for your motel room. Paul.
Yeah,
And
I
we'll
heard
go,
you.
and we'll go do it.
Talk. We'll talk.
We're going to stay in the Motel 6 in Lake Oswego because there's a strip club next door to it. So,
And they probably serve steak.
I'll pay for the hotel room.
Oh, in Portland, yeah, almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Do you need to pay for a strip club in Portland? Can't you just stand in the corner and watch people do it for free? I mean,
Well,
isn't-
we had that. What is it? Today's Sunday. So I think it was Thursday. They had one of the Antifa protesters strip down completely naked and stand and shake their stuff at the gate. It's a really weird crowd down there.
Why is it never a really hot female that does that? Why is it always some like 325-pound sweaty guy, like really hairy guy that does it? Why couldn't it just be somebody pleasant to look at?
I don't know. Probably because they're conservatives and they're at home.
Kevin, didn't you ever
I
go to
know.
Chop?
No, I never went to Chop.
It was
No.
never a big guy. It was big women, but
Yeah. Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm just on our show, using our show as a tiny little microcosm. I mean, who's the weirdo that freaks Paul out?
You.
Me.
Oh, nipple boy. Yeah.
You know what Paul's really into, by the way? Tom has this Christmas sweater.
ugly Christmas.
And like
yeah.
the holes are cut out around his nipples, and he hangs Christmas ornaments from his pierced nipples, and Paul just loves it. Paul's asked for photos with autographs, so he can hang it up at home.
Special
And
fucking place.
you know those,
a
those
shrine.
those what are those called? The fun heads, or what are those called? Fat heads.
Big heads. Yeah.
Fat head, yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted Tom to get one of those made that he could hang on his wall.
There you
That was
go.
just him and his yeah. So
There you go.
Would that just be a fat nipple with decoration?
Paul's a weird son of a bitch. Let me tell you. Paul's just a weird son.
Oh, so you guys actually missed 4th of July because Kevin, I told you I'd come in for 4th of July.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to be the
He
Christmas
did
one.
prepare.
Yeah, Dennis got to see it. Dennis is scarred for life.
Yeah, Paul, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Paul.
Now it's going to be a year.
Never mind.
It'll be a whole year.
Paul's
you
never
keep-
coming
we
back
just
to
come on the
studio
show more
again.
often.
Whenever you guys want.
Well,
I mean,
listen. Paul's not even
so-
here half the time, so you could fill his shoes. I mean,
See that empty mic stand in the middle?
yeah, this is normally Paul's spot over here.
So at first, how this was working was, there's places where journalists can't go into, like Jonathan Cho. There's places where he couldn't go into. So I was able to go in undercover and film stuff, send it to Jonathan, and then he turns around and posts it, does what he wants to do with it. But now, after the clip last weekend, we're at 5.1 million views. Like, it was like, okay, let's take let's take a victory lap on this, and this is what it is. And so,
How far are you willing to go to get behind enemy lines?
well, I mean, I've already
Like, are you willing to dress up in drag? to do
No,
it?
no. I mean, so like, I was in the army. I was in the invasion of Iraq in 2003. I was in Afghanistan in 2005. That's where,
God bless you for your service, by the way.
thank you. That's where Paul's sister was writing me and sending me letters. So I
If
took
you
her
need any help with your VA benefits,
so I took her to
Matt,
Vegas.
If you need any help with VA benefits,
I
Matt.
took her to Vegas, and then she got married like 6 months after that. So,
Matt, were you?
Let me tell you about that
Her
piece of
last
work.
hurrah.
no, no, I don't know.
No, I think the marriage was a
Awkward
rebound.
questions. Come
The
on,
marriage
let's
was a
move
rebound.
back on.
Anyway, when I got married the first time, I had a last hurrah. I mean,
Yeah,
You
but
know,
this is
suddenly
Paul and
the
Paul's
song-
sister.
My
One
life
night-
is a series of last
One night
hurrahs.
in Bangkok is stuck in my head, but it changed to one night in Vegas. Got your sister married to somebody else.
Pam's gonna kill me.
No, she's gonna kill Paul.
Hold on. All you got to do if you're talking to Pam is just ask her about.
Don't
ask
do it,
her
Kevin.
about-
Don't do it, Kevin.
What?
Well, I could say I'm bitter because I don't know. Paul's mom fired me.
No, it does,
Wow.
just ask her why me and her call Paul Jr.
Paul, when that's funny, you can ask her about this. When we were, your mom didn't know who I was, and so when she drove us, the deal was your mom drove us to the airport, and my folks picked us up. And so when I remember messing with your mom that we were secretly going to elope, and your mom was so packing, she was like, "You guys better not elope." Well, I'm not gonna say your sister's name. She's like, "If you come back married, blah, 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 blah." So it was a fun little thing that we played on Pam at the time, and now I know her, and she's an awesome lady.
Well, Pam and I both call Paul Jr.
Oh, you
So,
do?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't we, Junior? That's right. And by the way, I haven't brought this up yet tonight, but I do believe that Tom's Aunt Nancy is still in the chat. So hey, Nancy.
watch it.
Nancy,
Watch it.
How you doing, Nancy? How you doing, baby? All right. Matt, will you keep us posted? You can come in the show whenever you want to. I mean, we always save a spot here next to me for Paul, and then he just doesn't show. Like he's like, I'll be 15 minutes late tonight, but I'll be there. I'll just be 15 minutes late. Leave
Yeah.
me a spot. I'll squeeze
Like,
in.
it's
2 hours
actually
later, he comes on the video.
Teleworking.
yeah. No, okay. First of all, no, I
you
sat in the
fucking
waiting room for
hypocrite,
quite a bit of
Paul.
time.
You're a goddamn hypocrite. You're all like, Trump, that they need to not let any of those government workers telework because they're lazy. And then you do every goddamn show telework, you schmutz.
Anyway,
When I got pulled back into the office, because I'm a federal employee, when I got pulled back in the office, Paul was like, well, you should be in the office. That's where you're supposed to be. That's where you do your work. You're a federal. We're not paying you money to work from home. Go to the fucking office. We do a radio
I
show,
never said
and
that.
Paul does every show from home.
Paul.
Kevin, do I need to do my segment now?
In just a sec. Matt, keep us posted. Let us know what's going on. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Don't reach out to Paul. Just reach out to me.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Me
then
or
we'll
Lori.
swap numbers.
me.
We'll swap numbers
swap
before I
numbers.
leave. That
Yeah.
that way we have it. That way it's never.
Reach out to me. Reach out to Lori. Reach out to Tom. Reach out to Paul's sister. It's all good.
That way, if Paul backs out this weekend from going with me, I'll screenshot you his
please
excuse,
do.
and then you can use it next Sunday.
Please do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, by the way, I heard from Bigfoot people that the only person willing to go on the camping trip was Paul.
No, I said I would go, but it just had to be the right weekend for me to go.
I'll go.
right.
Period.
No,
you
I'll
just
go.
got to give me a
I
weekend.
dirt camped last weekend when I called you guys. I dirt camped that whole weekend.
We need to work on that.
Wait, where are we going camping? I missed this.
Middle of nowhere to go look for Bigfoot.
I know, but where?
We're going squatching.
Well, we talked about going to my family property, which is out on the Olympic Peninsula near the Quinault lands. We've talked about a bunch of stuff.
We've got a couple of spots available.
Okay.
so-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
And
do
I've
it.
also negotiated a possible appearance by one Michael Powers to come back on.
Yeah.
I'd love to have Michael Powers.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to have Michael and Tim both back on to
Nice.
I don't know, part 2 to our
Tell them to
COVID
bring their
interview.
acoustic stuff. They can play some music for us.
Or even Michael will probably be on by video, but he could still live stream. So
Yeah.
I got Tracy, who's a big fan of the show, got me a hat and some magnets for my car.
Mhm.
And the hat basically shows somebody pissing on a tree and it says IP in the woods.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Or
got
no, IP outside.
I got an official tinfoil hat.
Well, every Reynolds rap comes with one.
No, no. This is a permanent one.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll wear it next week.
Matt,
I get it.
I love what you're doing. Like
Thank you.
I don't know, like I don't know the ins and outs of it all, right? And I'm not saying politically I agree with everything because I don't know enough about it. But I love the fact that you're out there shining a light and you're not doing it for money. You're not doing it for necessarily recognition because you don't want it, you know. You're just out there to shine a light on it, which I think is cool. And I think a lot of people sit at home and bitching and playing on their couch and then they do nothing about it. But you're out there making an effort to at least draw attention to it.
Thank you.
So thanks. I think it's cool. And you're welcome anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
100%.
And Paul just said his sister wants you to call her. Okay. That's what you get for bringing it up, Paul.
Oh man.
Yeah. Dennis has a special segment, Paul. You got to be a part of this, by the way. Dennis,
Yeah.
what is you? Dennis has got a segment.
all right. Well,
Go ahead,
well,
Dennis.
this weekend, Kevin and I, we share a birthday.
Yes, we do.
We're the greatest birthday twins on the
Yes,
planet.
we are.
17th. Just
And
for the
by the way,
listeners
if
that
your name
don't
is-
know,
if
it
your
would be
name is-
July 17th.
And if your name is Luke Bryan, fuck you. Okay, go ahead.
That's right. And so I've come up with a list of people that did not show up to the K-Dog DJD karaoke bash.
Okay. Yep.
And
here we go.
we're going to start off with the CEO.
Yeah, she didn't
Lori.
come to karaoke.
I was at dinner though.
Yeah, she did come to dinner the night before. By the
the
way,
day
what did
of.
you?
Yeah, I missed dinner.
Oh, dinner was phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
We were at Monster Trucks before cars got crushed.
Yeah, we went out. Matt, have you been out to the new Hot Pot Korean barbecue in Silverdale yet?
No, where's that at?
It's in the old famous Days building, right next to where Men's
Oh,
Warehouse is.
yeah.
Hot Pot's amazing.
Okay.
man.
Oh, I
So
I
good.
didn't.
I
have the
love
hot
good-
pot, though. We
No, you had the
grill.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, it was amazing.
All right.
Oh,
Also,
Go for the
barbecue is a
barbecue. The
people that didn't make it. Michelle Caldier.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay. She was invited, but she hates me, and that's okay.
Ace Haynes.
Is he out of jail?
He just didn't make it.
You know, I've been wanting to meet one Mr. Ace Haynes. I've heard lots of
Oh, wait,
stories,
Tegan
but I've
got me
never
the
had
hat.
the
I said
opportunity
Tracy.
to actually meet him.
Hold on, I got to own this. Tegan's the one that got me the hat, not Tracy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I had Tracy. I think she commented. Threw me off.
The most continuous non-shower at this annual event, Mandy Moore.
Yeah, Mandy Moore. I know you listen to the show, Mandy. I love you. The fact that you don't respond to my posts about you is very disheartening.
No previous or former members of Queen or Journey showed up.
That's true.
And
I would love to meet Brian May.
And
I think he's
also,
Matt, what's your information? Do people want to follow you? Where do they follow you on X?
I'm on X, jerking your chain.
Nice.
That is awesome.
I thought I was gonna be trolling people, but no, now here I'm serious.
Yeah, just
also the one last.
Is it
but
really
not
jerking
least-
your chain?
Yeah.
Spell that though. Is it
The at symbol JERKINYOURCHAN.
Oh, so normal then. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not like
minus
white
the no,
dollar.
minus the G, and then I'm on YouTube. I got a YouTube channel. Just a measly 3,000 followers. I think it's Matthew 2979 at YouTube. But I used to post a lot of stuff there regularly, but I've just been kind of ripping it up on X. I haven't been editing videos like I used to. I probably should. I was anticipating just doing like a big compilation after the summer was done of the adventure. So
You going to share your appearance on here in your compilation?
Hold on a
I think
second.
it's-
Hey, Matt, how many
I'll send
followers do you have on X?
on X, so before this, I had almost 1,000, and now I'm up to 2,300. I picked up 700 followers just in the last week. 300.
So here's why
in 3 days.
I ask you: how many followers do you have to have on X in order for you to do a live?
So just to do a live, you have to be, what is it, where you have to pay for it. What do they call that? You have to have
You
the
got to be a
chat.
paid member.
Yeah, so
Okay,
so
okay.
so I did that.
Is
So
that the only?
All things we could have asked off the show.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah. You just have to be verified, Paul.
that's what it is. Verified. Yeah, you got to pay the money.
Got to be verified. Okay.
And then once I did that, the first event I went to was the Indivisible in Port Orchard.
Okay.
And that was I parked my truck and I looked over, and it was the anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk, and the people next to me were in a Tesla filling out an anti-Elon Musk sign. And I said, and you can watch the video. I said, what is this? And that's when I was like, this is going to be something else. And I walked across the street, and I had one viewer. Hour and a half later, when I left, I had over 4,000 people watching the stream.
Wow.
And I was like, holy cow, like, this is what people want to see. So I've just been trying to get out there and stream. And even if it's for 2 minutes, like before I walked up, I was out streaming before I came up, and they put the axe to that and said no. So I respectfully, that's your guys' house, your guys' rules. So I understand, but I think it's important just to put that kind of stuff out there. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm just trying to do the little bit that I can and hope that it makes a big impact. And if it doesn't happen in my lifetime, it happens in my kids or their grandkids' lifetime. They go, look at, this is what Grandpa was doing. And, he was on the right side of history. That's what's most important.
Yeah. Yeah, Dennis likes you. I do too. I think it's great. Like, I don't have to agree with all your politics. I don't have to know all your politics. Just
There
know
you
that you're drawing attention to things. You want people to be aware and learn and see it and know, and you're just shining a light where it's not otherwise shown.
Yeah, I mean, look at when I ran for city council, and you load up, the Kids Have Son gave me my little 2 minutes, and the last comment they said, what would you do to clean up Callow? And it was simple. I said, shut down the adults only theater and get a pressure washer. Like that's
Not wrong.
That's to the point. So you go compare the answers.
You need some bleach and some Lysol.
Yeah. So you go compare those answers.
There's a lot of DNA in them buildings.
Compared to what my opponent said.
Have to find a new place to hang out on Saturday night.
Yeah. So we need to review this and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so my opponent, he's running right now uncontested. So had I not even ran against him when I ran, he would have been uncontested then, and nobody want to run against him now. That's a shame that nobody was had the courage to even stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Okay.
That sucks.
What's your handle on X again?
At Jerkin Your Chain.
At Jerkin Your Chain.
Yep.
No G. Jerkin Your Chain.
Yes.
And then on YouTube.
Yep. Matthew Adams 1279 or 2979. Yeah.
All right. I was just notified.
I'm not going to give my TikTok out because I use that for the lefty girls that I see these things.
Okay. And then I just found out, I was just notified you have a Pornhub account. Hold on, I was just notified you have a Pornhub account too, which is at I Know Paul's Sister.
No, that was my Feet Finder account.
Also Jerkin Your Chain.
Is that a subsidiary of Foot Pics by Kiki?
Oh man.
Yes.
All right. Who else did not show, Dennis? Quickly. 1016.
One, St. Paul, the voice of treason.
He did not show.
Yes.
He didn't show for dinner. He didn't show for karaoke. He didn't go to the baseball game.
But I bet you he showed up for softball.
There was a koi pond there he was shown.
As a matter of fact, my team played in the tournament this weekend, and I did not go.
And they won, didn't they? No, he said he did not go.
I don't know. I haven't talked to them.
But he feels bad about it.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. We have.
I missed dinner, so
you did miss.
I did.
But you were at karaoke, and we had a great time at the Rainiers game last night.
Oh, the Rainiers game was awesome.
That was
such.
I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah. It was
anyone who had a ticket and didn't go, you should be ashamed of yourselves that you didn't donate it to me.
It was
that was such a good ball game. I mean, there were some good home run hits. There was double play.
Yeah.
I mean, someone stole home.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah, no, it was such a great game. The Rainiers had to pitch out of a bases loaded situation. I mean, it was really.
So
it
they
was a
played baseball.
really good game.
Yeah, they played
that
baseball,
monster
Paul.
truck, someone
Shut
got
up.
their car smashed by a tire.
Yeah. By the way, Paul, did you hear about this? Did you hear
No.
about this at the monster trucks tonight?
No.
One of the
County Fairground.
One of the monster trucks lost a tire. It bounced a couple times, went over the wall, and landed on somebody's car.
No.
I'll show you a photo. The
Yeah.
car is demolished.
Why can't I have been there? I would have
Do
been.
you want to hear something awesome
No.
that I've just found out about that? Breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. The car was parked illegally, so no coverage.
Oh. Oh, are you serious? Oh,
I showed
God.
that to Lori.
Man, that's a what the fuck did I just do moment.
Yeah.
You thought you were snagging some good parking.
Yeah.
The sign says no parking
Really?
here.
Oh boy, that's bad juju.
That's going to be a
And it
sad-
bounced right over the mini car pits.
Yeah.
For the game.
Yeah, we've been down there before, and I know exactly when it went over because it's where the mini
Yeah,
cars
that
all.
could have been like right over your head.
Yeah. God, that's awesome.
Hey, the Outlaw Invitational coming up in a little over a month.
September 13th, Outlaw Invitational.
when I whoop all your asses.
Well, I know that Tom is in. I know that I'm in. Paul, are you going to be in? Or are you just going to say you're going to be there 15 minutes late and then never appear?
Jesus Christ. All right, listen up, fucktard. Okay. So
I love
I
you, Paul.
have my regular construction business, and now I
Yeah.
have the paintball field. So I am busier than shit, and I'm telling you, I can't just be in two places at once. It's
Missy
just
just shared. Sorry, Missy just shared Matt's adult friend finder account. It's at I take your sister to Vegas. Thank you, Missy. I appreciate it.
And by the way, Doc Blackwell is driving this year.
Yeah, so it'll be me. So
nice.
Paul, are you driving a car this year, or do we need to?
I am.
keep that
Yes,
open? You
no,
are.
I am driving. Yeah.
All right. So we have 6 cars total, is what I was told.
Yep.
So we have 4 right now. We have me, Tom, Paul, and Doc.
Yep.
I thought there was somebody else that was a guest recently.
Jesse?
I don't know. I think
no,
we've
not
asked Jesse.
Okay.
Speaking
I
of
can get us
Doc,
I can get us a driver. I know that my younger brother, who drove D Derby for 10 years.
No, we're not asking your younger brother to do that. No, we're not. He doesn't come
hey.
to the show. We need to,
Hey,
offer
hey.
to our guests.
Hey.
Not Caleb, Sean.
I know. That little fucker used to shoot paintballs at my house. No.
and we all
I lived across before I knew Paul. True story. Before I knew Paul, his brother lived across the street from my house and used to shoot paintballs at my house in the middle of the night. And I'd come outside, there'd be paintball splatters on my house and unexploded paintballs in the yard. And it was
that's
Paul's
fun-
fucking brother.
That's funny.
That
But
is funny.
Lila was gonna come drive.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Lila.
what I thought.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, Lila's number 5 then.
There
So
you
we got
go.
room for one more. Thank you, Lila.
And I
thank you.
believe
knew-
Boss Baby found her sheets.
So she'll be there to deliver.
She,
Yeah.
What trophy girl? We gotta get, put her with Amanda.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Remind me to tell
really
you my
doesn't
thoughts about
matter
Amanda
who we're
off
going to
air.
put on the track. I'm going to whoop everyone's ass.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You know
going
what he
to
did?
defend my first
You know what he
place.
did 2 years ago, Matt?
What's that?
He had a big healthy lead, like was ahead of everybody, and then for some unexplainable reason, drove into a tire, like one of the big tires. Like nobody touched him. He had a huge lead.
He turned around to see
Straight
where
into it.
Bam.
was,
I made a
right
bad
to a
turn.
car,
No,
and then
you're absolutely
everybody
right.
passed
I
him.
made a bad turn. I did.
Yeah, he totally LA Chargered it.
It wasn't a bad turn, Tom. You didn't make the turn.
Oh,
wow. You're right.
Chargered it?
I screwed that turn.
Dallas Cowboys. Come on.
Yeah.
He romoed it,
He
maybe.
couged it.
Romoed it, maybe.
You watch
Eddie
you
Cooged
watch
it.
the whore mouth, son.
Tegan asked when this is happening. September 13th at the Kitsap County Fairgrounds. Well, across
And
from
it
the
is one
fairgrounds at
race for
Thunderbird
all the
Arena.
bragging rights and Outlaw,
Yeah.
Yes.
the Outlaw
why-
Nation. If you're a Raider fan,
Yes.
Yeah, I really wish we could get Jesse to come out and do it because he won too the last time
Yeah.
he raced.
Yes,
So
Lila, we still want you to join.
yes, yeah. I knew that we had
Yes.
somebody else. I don't remember who it is.
Yeah, Lila.
He, dressed appropriately, so make sure she's filled in on.
Yeah, Lila, make sure you're
closed-toe
wearing like
shoes,
long pants,
pants.
closed-toed
long
shoes.
pants, closed-toe shoes.
Yeah.
Does the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Long sleeve shirt or a sweatshirt.
Although that's kind of from what I've seen in derbies years past, that's kind of a gray area. I mean, you're supposed to be long sleeves. I see a lot of guys get out of the cars with short sleeves.
But you do have to wear like closed-toed shoes. You do
Yes.
have to wear full pants, no
Yes.
shorts, no
Yes.
skirts,
Yes.
nothing like that.
No.
The only person I've seen wear a skirt when they drive the derby car was Paul. So
who's never put anybody in a wall.
Okay. That's the whole point of driving, right? Is to make sure Kevin doesn't win. That's all it's about. Make sure Kevin doesn't win, because we will never hear the fucking end of it, ever.
I don't know.
He hasn't
Paul.
won any of them.
I don't. But
Neither of you.
But here's the problem.
Yes. All I do is make sure Kevin doesn't win.
I know, and that's the worst part about it is Paul tries to get everybody to gang up to make sure I don't win. Like rather than Paul,
And it's
actually,
never worked because Paul can't gang up to get himself to do more than third place.
Rather than just actually race the race, Paul has to be like, "Well, I just hate Kevin so much." Whatever.
Hate. He's supposed to.
And then he lets other people win.
You
You
guys
got to
are
be
supposed to be
beat twice
long
by
term
a girl.
buddies.
We had to listen to Debbie Taylor brag for consecutive years
2
that
years.
she won.
Yeah,
2 years.
And Paul would rather listen to that
She was in the
nonsense
chat earlier.
than let me try to win.
That the first year she put me into a tire. I mean,
Yeah.
just legitimately, she did great.
And then, the year
And then the second year, I just put myself
did it by
into
your
a tire.
no, you just wanted to relive old times.
Yeah, I like that. I like those tires.
Tom liked that tire.
Oh wait,
It was the same tire.
Lila said Paul has clear goals. Yeah.
Didn't Michael?
I do,
drive
Violet.
the
You're
truck
telling
with
the that's
your
truthful, yeah.
son?
Yeah.
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 So the Outlaw Invitational, it's great. Hopefully, I'm going to get Dylan Pies on next week.
Ooh.
Okay. Remember, we do have the mayor of Bainbridge Island joining us at 8
Yes.
o'clock.
Okay.
And
I
then-
thought it was 7.
Is
I
it
have-
7?
Yeah, I have her.
7 o'clock. Oh, yeah, it probably is
7 o'clock.
So we can get
8-ish,
Pies on at 8:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get him because currently he's ahead of his dad in points.
Oh,
If
Dylan's
you
a
know
great guy.
anything about the Pies family, we've had
Just
Dan on before.
A little bit competitive.
We've had Dan Pye's daughter on before.
Yeah.
And then Dylan went on to race her car and win a lot.
Yeah,
Big-
Dylan's a savage in her car.
Listen, big derby this weekend, by the way. The Whaling Days
Yeah,
derby is
it's all
big.
part of the Whaling Day stuff.
Yeah. And
So that's this weekend, Dennis.
This upcoming weekend, and the main feature is a tow behind race.
Yeah, I
which
hate
is
missing it, man.
the epic.
Oh, that's my favorite end of the night finale kind
If
of
you
thing. I
want
love the tail
mayhem,
behind.
that is the mayhem.
That is
you
mayhem.
need.
Let me give some other shout outs too. For the 8th consecutive year, yours truly has been tasked with doing the PA work at a Whaling Days. It is a great time every year. Whaling Days is always a blast. I love to eat the corn dogs. Fuck off, Paul. I know what you're going to say. Don't even say it.
And for at least the 10th year in a row, I will be at Whaling Days Parade.
That's right.
Much earlier than Kevin ever gets up all weekend.
That's true.
They do sound for the parade on Saturday.
I'll
And
be
then I will be at
exhausted.
the Derby
I'll be exhausted.
Saturday night.
But some things to keep in mind for the Whaling Days schedule on Friday night, they're going to do Princess Bride on a 12-foot video
Don't
screen.
you say that with so much disdain in your voice.
I fucking hate that movie, man.
Don't you say that with so
I
much
would
disdain in your
literally
voice.
part of it?
I would literally slip my wrist before I watch that movie.
You watch your mouth.
Kevin.
So
I would literally let Paul milk my prostate before I watch that movie. again.
oh, damn. I don't want to know what you and Paul do, but as a competitive fencer,
Our guest on the casting couch looks really uncomfortable right now after the milking the prostate.
Matt's like milking somebody's prostate's an option. Nobody told me.
as a competitive fencer, Princess Bride's required viewing.
I've seen it before. I'm not going to see it again. I've watched it.
Well,
once.
you don't fence either,
Anyway,
so you're
once.
allowed to pass.
Anyway, let
you're
me
allowed
finish.
that bad.
How many
taste.
times have you seen what's it?
Hamilton?
Or, yeah, Hamilton.
Hamilton? Oh,
It was a
40.
something ton.
Probably 40.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, back to the schedule.
How many
So-
Star Wars movies?
So
have
on
you seen?
Friday night, I haven't seen episodes 1, 2, and 3, but I've seen 4, 5. I've seen the original 3 and then the last 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
4,
I'm not
5,
gonna
and
watch
6
the.
are
I'm not
the
gonna
only
watch.
ones that are worth the shit. The rest of the Star Wars,
The last 3
franchise
are
is being
disaster.
crapped on.
Hold on. Let me finish my point about Whaling Days, and we can move off of this. So Friday night, they're going to play Princess Bride on the 12-foot video screen. That's a
You
free
should
movie
enjoy
for people
that.
to come watch.
You should enjoy that.
or I should shoot myself in the head with a
No,
pellet gun.
no, you should just get
Just
on
find
the
your
vulture and
feet
go
and-
enjoy it.
On the main stage, and every time I say main stage, Paul gets an erection. But on the main stage, they're gonna have a Beastie Boys tribute band on Friday.
That's on
night.
Friday.
That's on Friday. And
Okay.
then after that will be the annual fireworks show.
Okay.
Okay. On Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh
Star Wars Day.
no. Wait. I'm sorry. On Friday is who's that country guy?
Luke
No,
Bryan.
he's Sunday.
Joel Gibson.
Hold
Joel
on,
Gibson
hold
Jr.
on.
Jr.
No, I'm
Joel
walking.
Gibson Jr. also he sang the national anthem at the last Derby last weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the one I missed. That was the only Derby I'm going to miss this year.
And you know what? That is the most empty my section has been. You know, my my own little section.
your perch.
Yes, where I claim my throne and pick and choose who gets to sit by the DJ.
It was kind of funny at Monster Trucks because we were right next to the staircase there. But
we were, and I was so
couldn't-
tempted to go down and just okay.
But it was reserved.
It was reserved, but I still want to
Okay.
go down and tell the announcer.
I was
Here,
wrong.
you want to know what works in the dirt down here?
So Friday night, Backstreet Jelly Roll will perform on the stage. They're a Van Morrison tribute band. They're really, really good. They play every year. So it's not the Beastie Boys cover band. They're on
That's Saturday.
They're on Saturday, yeah.
Saturday with the Star Wars drone show.
Yeah, Grand Royale, by the way. And then on the video screen, they're going to play episode 4 on the video screen to the other side. That'll be a free movie as well.
Okay.
And then again, the drone show. So if you guys have ever seen the drone people that were on America's Got Talent,
yep,
it's that same group.
Oh, really?
They're going to be at Whaling Days. Yeah, they're
That's
doing a
awesome.
Star Wars themed drone show. It's going to be.
It's also the same drone show that has videos of their drones falling out of the sky over a crowd of people in Dallas, Texas.
Target practice.
Well, I guess I know where I'll be.
And then on Sunday,
I'll tag you.
and then on Sunday, there's a couple bands I want to point out on Sunday. So the Tracy Marsh band is going to perform at noon on Sunday. If you've never seen Tracy Marsh, she's really good, like really good. And then Joel Gibson Jr. will perform at 4:00 on Sunday to be the wrap of Whaling Days.
Sundays at Whaling Days are always fun and they're underrated.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Whaling Days is a great community thing. It really,
is.
I like it. Since Greg Wheeler's not here, I like it a lot better than Blackberry Festival.
Do you?
Yeah.
I do too.
Oh, see, I
Blackberry
really
Festival
like
on the
Blackberry
pier.
Fest.
Blackberry Festival on the pier is just
It
too
has
much.
potential, but it's put together poorly.
One, it's too much. I mean, there's too many vendors on. You cannot walk around in there. There's no
and it's
room.
crammed into a very small area
Yeah.
instead of using more of downtown.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't just close the transit center and expand it upstairs in the up there in the roundabout, or put it out on the up on the pier or whatever. Like do something, man. Like
all the way down.
It's too much.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Who's had a bigger impact on society? Quincy Jones
Me.
or the
K-Dog, me.
or the Scientology guy? What's his name?
L. Ron Hubbard?
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. Both,
Oh my God.
Both from Bremerton. So let's
L. Ron Hubbard's from
What?
Bremerton?
L. Ron Hubbard's from Bremerton?
Google it. Yeah.
Holy shit! Dianetics came from Bremerton.
He still has.
God
he still has.
damn, I
still
didn't
has
know
family.
that.
Still has family here in Kitsap County. So, where's our
So
L. Ron Hubbard?
I will tell you, I think L. Ron Hubbard has been a much greater impact.
Yeah, he moved to Bremerton in 1936 to live with with their aunts and uncles, and they lived on South Colby.
I did
South
not know
Colby.
that.
That's like over here.
I don't know though.
Yeah, it
because
is.
Wasn't Quincy Jones instrumental in Michael Jackson?
Yes.
So
he was
I
very
would-
instrumental in the music.
But he never came back to Bremerton.
What? But
Never came back.
No,
to
but L. Ron
Bremerton.
Hubbard didn't either.
He came back several times. You didn't read and he still has family.
I
here.
can't read. I'm doing a radio.
Well,
show.
someone's a professor from Gilligan's Island, but
Neighbor John. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, by the
I did his
fact,
funeral.
Did you?
Yeah.
by the fact that most of the people in the room right now, not there's many of us, but most of the people in the room had no idea that L. Ron Hubbard was from Bremerton.
And
But-
how many of us were up late at night and got that infomercial?
Oh,
Josh Farley
Dianetics.
didn't tell anybody.
Dianetics.
Not writing that article.
Okay, I'm a night owl. I mean, I go to bed
Oh, wait a
early by
minute.
force.
Hold on. So check this out. This is off of an article from thestranger.com.
Oh man.
but this is about L. Ron Hubbard and his connection to Bremerton.
Okay.
At the time, L. Ron Hubbard mostly made money writing pulp stories about cowboys, but after a 1937 dentist appointment in Bremerton, where he believed he died while under the gas and had come back to life with a glimpse of how reincarnation works,
Yes.
Hubbard started to become more spiritual. Bremerton fucked him up so bad that Scientology was born.
Yes.
So on one hand, you have Quincy Jones, who helped inspire a whole new genre of music, and you have L. Ron Hubbard, who Bremerton fucked with so bad he created a new religion.
Tom Cruise.
That's good.
He's got TC, man. He's got Maverick.
Oh God, talk to me, Goose.
Talk to me, Goose.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is info
Hubbard
you
then-
get nowhere besides.
Oh, there's more.
The Outlaw Radio.
Hubbard then started performing bizarre experiments, including giving a 10-year-old boy bubble gum laced with phenobarbital just to see what would happen. That's what living in Bremerton will do to you.
And
The kid's last name was Wheeler.
and he started working on his writing, including his first full-length novel, Buckskin Brigades.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
Maybe
Buckskin
that's maybe
Brigades?
No,
Wheeler,
Buckskin
maybe?
Brigades.
Brigades.
Oh, brigades, not for gays. Okay,
No,
that's just my bad.
Buckskin Brigades. It sounds like
Brigades.
something written by people that would drive Mini Coopers.
But you know,
Rather specific, Dennis, but okay.
Michael Goodnow drives a Mini Cooper.
Oh.
Oh, see,
Surprised he can fit in one.
Yeah.
I know him as well.
Top down.
Oh God! For those of you that
Word.
own a convertible smart car
Yeah.
We are off the rails.
and going to the freeway,
Yep.
All right. Well, okay. I don't know what to do with any of this stuff. Can I just be honest? If voting for mayor was purely decided upon by your mustache, like Greg Wheeler wins every year forever. Just
Okay.
forever.
he does have a good mustache.
He got a great stash.
He's got a great
I
stash.
whether
still
it's
look-
the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, I still
Or
think-
90s.
I still think he looks like the mayor from The Simpsons, but
I mean, but yeah, but he has a great, like, almost homage to
Ron
Burt
Jeremy.
Reynolds.
Ron Jeremy.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Wow, that's a blast from the
Burt
past.
Burt
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
And go back and watch Smokey and the Bandit,
Yep.
the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, hey, can I throw one piece of before we call it quits for the night? We've had
And
guests all night.
if you could fix your phone connection.
Go ahead, Paul.
Oh,
Go ahead, Mayor Humdinger. Go ahead.
I'll shut up.
Because of the way the news cycles work in this country, I'm curious how many of you heard about the big breaking news that broke Friday night, Saturday morning with regards to Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, holding him accountable.
No, what did Tulsi do?
She
Going after
declassified all of the documents over the Russia hoax accusations and the entirety, everything that went on with that. Turns out it was President Barack Obama that started the whole thing.
Yep.
And people are now calling for a major investigation and possible prosecutions for election tampering and all kinds of stuff. And when you read the information, it's big. This is a bombshell story. We're talking. It is, and we speculated about this years ago, and wondered about it because if you recall, when Trump went into the White House, there were people left in positions whose job it was explicitly to stall and delay the new Trump administration. And we're talking about people from James Clapper to James Comey, high-ranking people of influence and power. They knew that the entire report was fake from day one, and it was all done under President Obama's direction. I mean, I don't know that it's the first time in history, but it conceivably could be the first time in history you had a sitting president leaving office go out of his way with the intent to derail the new incoming president not from taking office, but from accomplishing his stated goals. It's a monumental story. It's huge. It's huge, and we'll see how the news is covering it tomorrow when the new news cycle begins.
Did you guys see what Trump posted in response? He had an AI video done of him and Barack Obama in the Oval Office, and then having DOJ come in and arrest him.
Yeah. Well, listen, we all know that I've always been a big fan of Obama. That's never been a secret on this show. But if this is true, Obama needs to be charged.
Yeah, it's sad. It is sad. It's sad
And
because of what it
anybody else
means.
connected. Like this has to be prosecuted under whatever it can be prosecuted under, and should not be allowed to stand, because if you just ignore it, it just sets a precedent. And then the next group will do it. The next group will do it. This is bad juju. And if it waters down to everybody, Biden, Clinton, whomever else might have been part and parcel to it, like, you've got to charge every single last one of them. You just have to.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing if
you're right,
the Trump White House or any other White House. I like Barack Obama. I always have. But you have to hold them accountable when they're fucking with the elections. Because the election process has got to be sacred in this country, or we're screwed.
You're right. Yep.
Like, then we become Italy.
Well, I mean, we're already in a gray area with our election integrity.
Well, I can fix that really easy.
Yeah, anyone can fix that
federal
really
law
easy.
that regulates all federal elections.
I am the deregulation guy, but I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes, and so to me, it's one of the best ideas Kevin has ever come up with. We should find a way to push that. Let me quote Tulsi Gabbard, and here's what she said yesterday. Their goal was to usurp President Trump and subvert the will of the American people. No matter how powerful, every single person involved in this conspiracy must be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The integrity of our democratic republic depends on it, and I think we all agree on that. She has forwarded the entire report to the Department of Justice for prosecution. So we'll see what happens.
It's never going to go anywhere.
If the Obamas are not getting divorced now, they will be when he goes to prison.
It's not going to go anywhere.
It will.
It won't. It's part of the good old boys club.
But
it's
Trump's not
going
part of the good old boys club, and that's part of it, right? Trump is outside of that network.
But Obama's not, and Clinton's not, and all the other people. It's not.
It takes the
nothing's
heat
going
off
to
of
come of it.
Epstein. Sorry to
Yeah, I
catch
was
up, but
gonna
it takes
say,
the heat off of
yeah.
Epstein.
Yeah.
Epstein.
That's right.
Well, that's
yeah.
something we were going to talk about
gonna
tonight,
be
but
a
we were overloaded with guests. Listen,
Right.
the fact that this administration is still dragging its feet about the Epstein stuff is annoying as a motherfucker. Because
Diddy's free.
But they is he out?
Yeah.
Well, but he's been
But he's still in jail because
Who,
he's
Diddy? He won't be in jail very long.
Yeah.
well. They said he
he's
could
going to be out for
years.
time.
And it's
served.
now okay to play his music again. Unlike R. Kelly.
Do you think? Do you
Diddy's
think?
going to be.
telling me no.
My body, my body's telling me yes.
Do you think they'll
Me
give?
and Kevin are going to do duets next year.
Do you think that Ghislaine Maxwell? You think they'll give her immunity to come out and just release it all, since
No.
they're not going to release the
No.
documents?
No.
I don't think she knows anything, because if she did, she'd have talked before she went to prison.
I
If
think she
knew
knows
anything-
everything,
She
and she
knows
wants to not be murder cited.
No,
Yeah.
if she knew anything at all, she'd already be dead.
Did lights just go out?
No. All
Her
right.
dog.
Listen, the other story I want to read just really quick, and then we'll end this. If there was ever a guy that deserved to get off scot-free because of something his brother did, it's this guy. There was a guy who drove his vehicle into the San Jose post office. They're saying it was a willing attack in the middle of the night on the San Jose post office. The dude who done it. The guy who did it was a guy named Richard Tillman, who is the brother of Pat Tillman, the former Arizona Cardinal.
Ranger.
So yeah, if anybody deserves to get off of a stupid thing that they did in their life because of what their brother did, is this guy.
Yeah.
Like, just release it and call it good.
Driving a car through a post office is not
Intentionally.
anything anyone should get off on.
This guy should, just because of what his brother did. Sorry.
And I mean, hey, Look, we saw a video of someone who drove a yacht into an aircraft carrier
Yeah.
that was parked.
Yeah,
San Diego.
that's
then
just
back it up.
stupidity. That's just stupidity.
All right, it's 10:42. We would have ended the show on time had Paul been on time, but then Paul shows up late and wants to talk about all this other crap.
Paul does that every week.
Lastly, Missy wants to know how they can donate to your stream, Matt.
Don't donate. I don't want any money. I just want you to follow me. And if you see one of my videos online, just retweet it or repost it or show somebody. But I don't want any money from anybody.
Yeah. And Missy, when he says follow him, he means follow his channel. Don't like follow him personally. That would be creepy.
I will accept all money though.
No.
If you want to donate money to our stream, we'll gladly take that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Kevin Nelson reminded us Stephen Colbert is going to be out of a job in May. Boy, if that's not in response to the fact that CBS lost that lawsuit against Trump, I don't know what is.
Yep.
I used to think he was really funny.
He used to be.
Yeah, when he did the
So
Colbert show.
is the
on,
Colbert Report
the
going?
Colbert Report.
It's coming
away?
back. It's either coming back or he's going to be your guys' competition on Sunday nights.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, Missy said yes. How? We'll have to figure that out, Missy. We'll let you know. Yeah. Thanks, Missy. That's awful sweet of you. Thank you. All right. Parting shots. Paul, do you have any parting shots?
No, I'm good. Yeah, good. Thank you though.
Fucking idiot.
Thanks.
All right. Dennis, do you have any parting shots?
Yeah. After tonight's conversation with Marwan, before Saturday,
Who would you vote for right now, Marwan or Greg?
really Marwan made a really good case for himself tonight. So and it was much more than I expected. And so I've decided to donate one of my gigs this year to Marwan, and I'll be DJing in Bremerton Thursday at a gig for him.
Nice.
Oh,
This
outstanding.
Thursday.
Yes, this
Hmm.
Thursday, like
Okay.
in just a few days.
Okay.
And Saturday I will be at Whaling Days. And Mayor Wheeler, if you have an event coming up, I will gladly come out and show my support as well, equally as we do on the Outlaw Radio
Well, and
Network.
by the way, I just got really big news about that. Paul has volunteered to wear Tom's Christmas sweater to one of Mayor Wheeler's events. So,
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Is
Dennis,
this gonna go with the dude WOW photos?
Dennis saw it. You guys missed the 4th of July shirt.
Look, the 4th of July was scary.
yeah, well, I'm not going to miss any more shows for the foreseeable future.
I was
Guys,
I was traumatized when I walked out of my room.
No,
with a
he
Tom
wore it
dress.
4th of July weekend, but he had a vest on.
Yeah, no,
he wasn't going to
He had a
reveal.
vest on. Yeah, I saw it without the
unless
vest.
Paul showed up. Yeah. Dennis saw it. I didn't.
I saw the full fucking thing.
Did you?
Yes.
And you'll never love again. Okay. Lori, party
Look,
shots.
wait, look, my last ex died, so
Why? That's not fair. It's not fair to use that like that. Like, I want to poke fun at you, and then you say that, and I just feel sad.
That's called defense. Something Seattle hasn't known since the Legion of Boom.
Oh, ow.
So the guy whose team doesn't even remember what the playoffs feel like. Lori, parting
Yes,
shots.
they do. Justin Herbert has felt the playoffs.
Yeah.
He just lost miserably, but still, he felt it.
Anyways, if everybody can plan to
Hold
be
on.
at Whaling
Wait a
Days-
minute. Dennis, the Chargers going to the playoffs is kind of like me fucking myself. Technically, you did it, but it doesn't really count. All right, Lori.
But you know what? Hey, Pornhub pays.
I make a lot of money off of that site. All right, Lori, go ahead. Come on, Lori.
By the way, Kevin is on Pornhub with Lori's beads. Not with Lori, just the beads.
I don't even know what to do with you right now. Just give your parting shots.
My parting shot is, hey, if you have time this weekend, check out Whaling Days. Check out Kitsap Destruction Derby Association. Check it all out. It's a lot of fun. It's your community. Come out. Everybody's been sequestered since the pandemic. They got too used to it. Come out, have fun, join your community.
Amen to that. Matt, do you have any
Amen.
parting shots?
Are you ready to add a touch of sensuality to your life?
Get that shit off. I
Introducing-
turn it off. All right. Matt, go ahead. You have any parting shots?
Yeah.
You want to say?
Yeah, if you a 9, you fine. If you 8, you get a court date. The big booty Latinas are staying. They're not going anywhere.
Amen, brother.
I want to know more information about the big booty Latinos.
Time you want to come, we'll swap numbers. We'll start doing some research.
So do you have like never mind.
Kevin doesn't believe in women whose hips are bigger than his.
That isn't true.
You have said that on air.
I don't like a girl whose ass is bigger than mine. That's true. Yeah, it's.
What do you
So apparently he doesn't understand.
I think Lori just said the same thing, my friend.
Yeah. You don't understand the assignment.
Live Cruz said it once.
Your mic's not on. Your mic's not on.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not turned up then.
All right.
There you
Oh,
go.
now we can.
Oh, there we go. Two Live Crew said it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Big booty hoes, hump with it.
Come on, everybody knows that.
I have
man.
never heard
Hood rat hoochie mama.
I've never heard anything more white in my entire life. Anything else?
No, hey, I appreciate you guys letting me come on and just
Yeah,
kind of
thanks
talk
for
about it. I wasn't anticipating. I know I told Paul a long time ago that I was trying to keep this under wraps, but just with what's happened lately, it's just pointless anymore. So now it's just out there. And I do want to say this. There is a member, an elected member of the Bremerton City Council who is affiliated with Antifa in Kitsap County. And I've received information on that elected official, and I am doing my research now to put that together, and I will confront that individual at a city council meeting. It will be done publicly.
Okay.
Oh.
You say affiliated. Does that mean they're receiving money from Antifa or align with them politically?
Oh,
Or
they're
in leadership with the
they have established a business, and they have passed the business on to the child, and the child is allegedly affiliated with that because they have a so yeah, I'm working on that. When I can get all that together, so.
Well, this was a breakout show for you. I mean, I know you
Thank you.
wanted to keep it under wraps, but you're here,
Yeah.
so it's not under wraps anymore. And I know that you wanted to keep the trip to Vegas with Paul's sister under wraps, and he chose to out that. So it's there's no more secrets for you, buddy.
Jesus Christ, Kevin. Let it go. Let it
You're
go.
the one that brought it up, you douche canoe.
But I don't keep bringing it up.
But I didn't realize there was a statute of limitations on that.
Yeah,
I apologize.
dude, bro code.
Hey, would you ask your sister a question for me?
bro code.
Oh no.
You
Ask her
broke
why
the
she hasn't
bro-
gone to Vegas with me. All right. Tom, parting shots. Actually, first, Nancy, how you doing, baby? Go ahead.
Oh, Tom's gonna deck you,
Man.
and I'm.
Nancy, I cannot wait to just go,
Dude,
Tom.
You don't understand my the lineage of my stock.
Do you know what she likes? What she likes me to call her? My little snack wrap.
The lineage from my stock would kill you, Kevin.
I'm just telling you. She likes it when I call her my little snack wrap.
Oh,
She likes to be dipped in ranch.
Kevin.
She likes to be dipped in ranch.
Really? Because when she was here, you were kind of like standoffish.
No, I was not.
I think you were a little embarrassed.
No, she asked to keep it on the DL. She didn't want to make Tom uncomfortable in this place.
No.
Ooh, another R. Kelly song. Down low, down low.
Let's just say, Tom, you have no idea what happened in your back room when you weren't paying attention. But go ahead, Tom. What do you got?
How am I I'm gonna keep it simple tonight. This particular day, this Sunday in history, has kind of been a banner day for Black Ring Spirits. So I'd like to say a track record. People should come here on Sundays for your end of the week. Grab a
Start of your week.
cocktail. Get yourself ready for Monday morning.
When football season starts, you have the football games on the TV out here?
Always.
Oh, of course.
Always. Yeah, we
Which
do.
games, though?
Oh, the
Hawks
Seahawks
or
games.
Chargers? Do they play at the same
games.
time? Seahawks
Seahawks
games? All right,
games.
just making sure.
Always.
But the Husky games on Saturdays?
Even though I'm his IT guy, I allow Seahawks.
No. We do Seahawks games on Sundays.
What about Saturdays?
UFL.
Yeah, UFL.
Huskies or Cougs?
Oh, Cougs.
All right.
Come on.
Attaboy.
Eastern.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, what's your Cougs play?
Shut up.
Like the Huskies are doing that great in the Big Ten.
Who are they playing? Eastern Delaware State, and they lose by 30. All right.
By 30?
First off, college football is a bunch of crap.
No, college football is great. man.
College football is a bunch of crap.
Paul, what's better, college or pro?
Pro? College football is a bunch of crap. When you've got an opinion panel that says, oh, this team with 3 losses is better than that team with 0 losses, fuck the BCS.
We have reached our streaming
College
limit.
football can eat a bag of dicks.
We have breaking news, by the way.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, I'm trying to verify it before I go with it.
Uh-oh.
Margie just put it out there, but I don't see it.
Alaska Airlines.
According to Margie, Alaska Airlines put a stop on the entire fleet.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
So we'll have to see if that's true or not. But that would be a big deal.
That hurts my next vacation.
That would be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's for tonight.
Well, I mean,
Well,
yeah, I
again,
haven't
you don't know
bought
why it
tickets
is.
yet.
Yeah.
Here's the question: why would they do it?
I don't know.
Why?
Things are broken.
Threats or broken.
I watch air disasters all week long. So it
Alaska
could be
Airlines requests
2
ground
hours
stop
ago.
for all mainline aircraft.
2 hours ago.
FAA says.
All right. Anything else you want to say,
by
buddy?
Other people.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, today has been some kind of a strange anomaly for a Sunday at Black Ring Spirits.
IT outage. Sorry.
Oh, and I want more of those because it's been a really nice day. If you will all come drink here, I will try to keep up with production.
Okay.
Perfect. Can I buy a bottle?
Yes, sir.
Can I buy something before I go?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Parting shots. I have 2.
What about Paul?
Oh, Paul already
about
gave
Paul?
parting
Oh, he did.
shots. So wasn't he the first one to give one?
Yeah. I'm good. Let me just say one thing really quick.
Oh yeah, Paul,
Matt,
go ahead. I have been waiting for my parting
we'll
shots.
talk via text, okay?
Just jump the line. Go ahead.
That's what he does.
Okay. All right. Well, Kevin, sit down there for a minute.
Oh crap! Here we go.
No, go ahead. We're good.
No, go ahead, Paul.
I'm giving you shit, Paul.
Go ahead, Paul.
What have I given you for the past 10 years?
Go, Paul.
It's
20
all
years.
good, brother. You're my favorite turd. I wouldn't shit you.
Go, Paul.
No, I got nothing. We're good. Just
And
wanted to
you
let
built
Matt
the
know.
outhouse that I love.
Go ahead, Paul. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday.
Dude, what are you doing? You got 6 minutes left, and then the stream ends at 4 hours.
I know. That's why I'm asking you to get to talk and to say what you're going to say, so I can get my parting shots. So we can get the hell out of here.
Go, dumbass. Go.
All right. So I have 2 parting shots. One, I need to clear up any confusion. The new Superman movie came out. It's doing really, really well. I haven't seen it yet. There's a lot of people that are confused. Let me just equivocally state now. No, the movie is not my biopic. Okay, stop asking me. Stop
Superhero that
inquiring.
can beat up the whole movie like the Karate Kid and has a dog.
The movie is not about me. Hopefully, we put that to bed.
Terrible movie.
Did you see it, Paul?
Don't waste your money.
Did you see it?
I did.
Did you spend money to see it?
You're the only person
Nope.
I've heard that saw it and didn't like it.
Yeah, I expected a nope.
All right.
And I'm glad I didn't spend money.
In all seriousness, the last thing I'm going to say is today would have been my mom's birthday. She would have been 81 today. I love you, Mom. Happy heavenly birthday.
Yep.
And,
Happy heavenly birthday, absolutely.
And yeah.
Your
All right.
mom was awesome.
Yeah, she was. All right, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Have yourself a great day. We'll be back next week. The mayor of Bainbridge will join us on the show. We might have some other guests on the show. We might add Matt as a full-time contributor to the show. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff coming. So stick around. More Outlaw Radio Network next Sunday, 8 to 11. Sorry, 7 to 10. Whenever the fuck we're on. I don't know. God damn it.
Seven to 10. Although it is 11 o'clock now and we're way overdue.
We should go back to a 4-hour show.
No.
Good night, everybody. Outlaw Radio.
Network.com.
Brought to you by Black Ring Spirits. If you're not drunk enough to vote for another Obama term, start drinking. Good night, Pete.
Get Congo, make a dance up and call it the go-go. Arch your back like you're doing a ritual. You do it first, so you'll be the original. Flat arms like you're in pride. Tell the girl next to you you're the dark knight. Slide her up, make her wonder. Look into her eyes, say I love.